Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Carmel,
I'm Mark.
and this is Bad Karma. We haven't done an episode for a while. We have got the unsolved murder of Kate Bushell and the possible links to Lynn Bryant and Helen Fleet in the background, working its way to you very shortly. But we thought we'll give you a Halloween episode.
Yeah, so one of the reasons we haven't made an episode in a little while is we've been busy with spooky shit. We've recently been on a couple of family occasions, family holidays, family gatherings.
We've been living our best
Spooky
human lives.
yeah, which has been to a Halloween farm, which was fun.
I love that Halloween farm.
Yeah, very cold though, very rainy. But in the spirit of Halloween, we sat and binge. It was over the course of a few days, wasn't it?
So we watched was it 3? The first 3? No, it wasn't. We watched the first 2 at the beginning of October, and then life got in the way. And
Talking about the Halloween movies, by the way, we haven't mentioned that yet. What you're seeing is all of the Halloween movies. We'll explain kind of how this has come to light, but the purpose of this video will be to rank all of the Halloween movies from best to worst. We did manage to watch all of them. You can kind of explain how that happened.
Yeah, so I asked if we could watch a horror every day of October, because to me, Halloween is the whole of October. It's not just on the 31st of October. And we started out really, really well. And we watched Halloween 1 on the 1st of October, Halloween 2 on the 2nd of October. And then life got in the way.
Yeah, we said in a previous, I can't remember if it was Bad Karma or it might have been Karma's a Witch. It might have even been the Karma's a Killer Game podcast. We said October was going to be special. We were going to try and come up with a new thing every podcast. We were maybe going to do more than one podcast a week.
No, that didn't happen.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
In fact we did plan, maybe this is something we can do another year. We were planning on binging a ton of Halloween themed horror films. When I say Halloween themed, we were going to binge a ton of horror films throughout October, and we were planning on doing a tier list of 31 different films.
Yeah.
And we were planning on doing things like the Halloween series versus the Friday the 13th series, Nightmare on Elm Street versus The Ring, stuff like that. And we were going to create a big tier list there. Unfortunately, quite early on, we missed a day or two. And it got to the point where it didn't feel...
We missed 2 weeks.
Yeah. It got to the point where we kind of had to think, well, what can we do? Because we have got these family gatherings happening. We've got work. We've got
holiday.
We've been sick during October as well.
We've got a holiday. We've just been really busy. So we are trying to figure out a schedule where it suits us and it also suits you guys. And we will hopefully be up and running weekly. But I can't promise you when, because we do need to try and get a backlog of episodes so that you guys don't miss out. Yeah. And so that we're not running ragged. So when we do have a holiday, don't feel like we have to rush to get better, because we do have work and other commitments as well as the podcast. The podcast is just something fun for us to do, and we don't want it to become unfun.
Yeah. So one of the compromises we came up with was we'll watch all of the Halloween films.
Yes.
And we'll rank them and upload this. And it's probably going to be our first sort of visual podcast where you're actually going to have something to look at. So if you were planning on watching or listening to this podcast without having to look at a screen, we'll do our best to explain what we're doing. But if you are looking at the screen right now, you'll see the DVD cases for all of the Halloween movies in the Halloween franchise. We're using tiermaker.com to rank these movies. We are going to be talking about each of the movies, where we're positioning them and why throughout this podcast. So it might be quite a lengthy one, considering there's 13 films that we're going to be discussing.
So for those that hasn't watched Halloween, don't worry, we're going to give a little bit of a background of what the film is. Then we're going to give our personal take. We'll give a little bit of, we'll talk about the background. We'll talk about when it was released. We'll talk about how much it made at the box office, how much the budget was when they made the film. And then we'll give our intake on where we will rate it on the scale.
Yeah. Just bear in mind as well, we haven't decided where these films sit yet, and we might change our minds during this video as well. So don't be surprised if we maybe if we put Halloween 1, the original, as the best film, but then we discover actually there's things about the other films that we preferred. We might move them around, but we will talk about sort of the final list at the end. So make sure you do stay tuned for that.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about each film in order, and then we're going to rank them. And then right at the end of the video, we'll give the Rotten Tomatoes and tell you where they've ranked them.
So let's start with the OG Halloween film then, Halloween 1.
Okay, so the original Halloween came out in 1978. It was one of Jamie Lee Curtis's first films, and this is the film that made her the Scream Queen.
So this started her career pretty much, didn't it?
Let's have a look. I'm not actually sure, because even though I am a Jamie Lee Curtis fan, I haven't watched all of her films.
I think Halloween 1, and I'll just zoom into the case there so you can see it a little bit better. It did seem very low budget at the time. I would hazard a guess and say when they were making this film, they didn't know what they had. I don't think they knew how big of a character Michael Myers is going to be in the horror genre.
Yeah, I don't think they did have a clue. So this was actually Jamie Lee Curtis's first film. She was in TV first, a year so she started a TV career in 1977 on Quincy ME. I remember Quincy. I started to watch that with my mum. So she did start out on TV, and then the Halloween film was her first ever film. What a good film they picked.
And this film, when did it come out again?
So this film came out in 1978. And the budget for the film, give me a second. The budget was $325,000. So at the time, that's quite a bit of money.
So I feel like this was because obviously the main character, aside from Michael Myers, the killer here in the white mask, is Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie.
Yeah, Laurie Strode.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll talk about kind of her evolution throughout the series a little bit, but she's one of the more memorable horror protagonists that I can think of, especially a female one. And I'm thinking 1970 something, I'm pretty sure the first Alien film came out about then as well, with Sigourney Weaver. So, I mean, when I think like strong female protagonists in film.
The 1979.
Yeah. So to me, I will always think of Jamie Lee Curtis's character in Halloween and Sigourney Weaver's character in Alien.
Yeah.
They're the two, like, female, I don't want to say action stars, because obviously Halloween's a horror. Alien is an action film, but it does kind of creep into horror territory a little bit as well. So, yeah, they're the two I think of. But I think that this first film especially, the emphasis is more so on Michael. And at this point, it felt to me like Laurie was almost just like a
side piece.
Yeah, a placeholder for you to kind of, you know, how would you react?
Has a plot
situation. Yeah. They do develop her character a lot more throughout the series, but I think for this first film, you're very much just kind of experiencing what it's like to be hunted by Michael Myers, and he's the centerpiece. Yeah, this. A little bit of trivia as well. His white mask, and I don't think you knew this, it's just a William Shatner mask, spray painted white.
I can see it.
William Shatner didn't learn that until he was old.
That's amazing. Love it.
So it must be weird to think that this now horror icon has a Halloween version of your face spray painted white. I just thought that was really amusing.
That's amazing. Love it. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm just trying to find something.
Just while you're finding that as well.
Yeah, it's all right.
The first Halloween film gave us some pretty cool, like, musical cues as well. Like, obviously you've got the theme song, that's a classic. But then also whenever a character sees Michael Myers in the background or something, you've got that, like, sound.
Theme song.
Yeah, and it's really strange because it reeks of that, like, 1970s, 1980s kind of vibe. And they've kind of carried that over into the later films as well, to the point where I think they've just, rather than recreate the music or recreate that little sound, they've just took it from the first film and used it in that.
Yeah. Okay, so Halloween was co-written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. They wrote Halloween and Halloween 2. So at the beginning of Halloween, you see a house, and you see it from the point of view of a child behind the mask. And they're going through the house, and you see the sister's naked. She's got underwear on. I think she's got pants on. She's got no bra.
Yeah.
So she's sat there, top half naked, brushing her hair in the mirror, and then you see her be stabbed, but again, you're still behind this mask.
So you think it's like a grown man murderer at this point?
Well, you don't know what to think.
Well, you think if you're killing someone, you wouldn't necessarily think a child. You think that it's like a home invader.
Yeah. And then
big reveal.
The child goes down, the masked person goes downstairs outside, a car pulls up, 2 adults get out the car, a man and a woman. And they're like, Michael, what happened? And there's a 6-year-old child.
With a clown outfit.
In a clown outfit with a kitchen knife, and the kitchen knife has blood all over it.
Yeah.
That in itself is quite freaky, because our youngest is, 5?
So, I mean, obviously the first question is why? Why has this happened? And they do say throughout the film that Michael is a very disturbed child. He's evil.
Pure evil.
Yeah. And Dr. Loomis, one of the main characters throughout a good portion of the films, does say that he's pure evil.
So Michael is obviously sent away. We don't know what happens with Michael or his family at all. But then 15 years later or 17 years later?
I don't know. I can't remember.
15 years later. So he comes back. 15 years later, you see a car traveling to an insane asylum. And Dr. Loomis, Sam Loomis, is in the car with a nurse. And they're talking about Michael. And they're talking about how they're thinking about him being released, how he can't be released. He's pure evil. He can never get free. Then as they're pulling up to the asylum, all the patients are everywhere. No explanation why. Just that Michael's escaped, and so is the rest of the patients. And then what you see is he attacks the car. The nurse actually escapes the car, and it's 21-year-old male who has never seen who has not seen the outside world for 15 years, can drive.
Yeah, I always thought that was a bit weird, because he was 6 when he was like taken in on tape, so he shouldn't know how to drive. He wouldn't have. I mean, he wouldn't have even experienced what it's like really to be a teenager at high school or anything like that. So very strange that he knows how to drive, unless it's like an automatic or something, which I don't know how common they were in the 70s. I don't know.
I don't think they were. I think they were all manuals, weren't they?
Unless they gave them driving less, because I know in America...
I doubt it. I don't like in asylums.
Well, in America, they teach it in school in some places, don't they?
Yeah, they do, because in America, you've got to... everywhere's far apart, so you've got to learn how to drive.
Yeah.
It's not like England. You can't just catch a bus somewhere.
Either way, but with this tier list, I don't think we should discuss everything that happens in the film.
No, I'm just this first one sets the scene.
Yeah.
Of who Michael is.
Yeah, it definitely... It doesn't explain why.
No, it doesn't.
Does what he does. And I know they do explain why in later films, and there's a couple of different interpretations about why he just decided one day to start this rampage of killing people. To me, the first film is great because it doesn't explain why.
Yeah.
And quite often, I mean, we definitely get a lot of stabbings in our city, a lot of like murders and stuff. Nothing to the extent that Michael Myers does. But sometimes not knowing why
is more mysterious.
Is more scary. Because it suggests, well, has this person just snapped? Are they, if they have a mental illness of some kind, what is it?
But it's actually a 6-year-old.
Yeah, and it's that thing of why are people fine one day and then the next day they're not, they've killed people.
Yeah.
Could happen to anyone, and that's what's quite scary about it. It's worth noting as well that in this first film, at least, Michael does not speak at all.
Yeah.
You can, even as a child, you don't hear him speak. So he doesn't explain what he does. There's no weird antagonistic speeches.
They've got them.
Being evil or wanting people to bleed or anything like that. There's no edginess.
He has not said a word since he was 6 years old.
Yeah.
So Michael escapes, somehow gets a car, and starts his killing rampage. We don't actually know in the first film why. And he starts stalking Laurie. Again, in the first film, not got a clue why. But he stalks babysitters, and he kills babysitters, and Loomis helps her in the end and saves her. So he has not killed a child yet. Let's point it out. He has not killed a child yet.
And it's worth noting as well that his sister was babysitting him.
Yes, and his sister was babysitting him at the time.
So you can kind of connect that he's got a thing against babysitters for some reason.
Well, it is...
And it's carried over into him being an adult.
If you look at it in a moral term, she was busy having sex while she should have been looking after her brother.
Yeah. So it's kind of, in a way...
It's a moral thing.
Would you say there's a bit of a similarity there with Jason? Because doesn't he kill counselors? He doesn't kill the children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and we'll go into that when we actually discuss Jason. But this about Michael, let's not...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I don't know which one inspired the other. I don't know if maybe that idea, it might not be connected at all, but it seems very much in the horror genre. It's quite rare for a child to be killed.
Oh, yeah.
And this is no exception, at least in the first film.
Friday the 13th, the first film came out in 1980.
Yeah, so it would be...
Came out after Halloween.
Yeah. I'm not saying that, they did that purposefully to copy Michael Myers, but in the horror genre, at least at this time, it seems to be that the late teens / adults are the ones that are fair game, but little kids, if they are killed, it's for like shock value. Like it happens a lot now with like Art the Clown and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Back then it was kind of like the kid will get out safe. The kid will. Even in things like Alien, the kid survives, or if they do die, they die off screen.
Yes. So in the first film, we just know that Michael stalks and kills babysitters. Don't know why, just that he does it. So this was probably very shocking for that time of age.
For that year, yeah.
Yeah. So in the the budget was $325,000.
I don't know how much that is for inflation. Doesn't sound like a lot of money. I mean, the fact they're using a William Shatner mask that's spray painted says to me that it wasn't a particularly high budget film. And this is why I say I don't think when they were making this film, I don't think they knew what they had.
Yeah.
I don't think they knew it was going to explode the way it did.
1978. So it looks like it was £1,614,911 today.
How much?
1.6 million.
Okay, so that's quite a small amount. I'm comparing it to like Marvel films where it's like 360 million. So it might be a lot.
Okay, so what was the average for that year? What was the average film?
But I mean, either way, I think if they'd ended Halloween here, because they haven't yet explained the connection to Laurie, I don't think it would have been...
Average film budget was over 5 million in 1978, so it was a very small budget film.
Yeah.
But how much would you say that in the United States that film made?
No. Couldn't say. I assume quite a lot because they've continued the series.
£47.1 million.
Yeah, so it's exceeded its budget, and that's
just in the US. Worldwide, it's £70.1 million.
So, I mean, even just looking at the DVD covers, look, the reason I say I don't think they knew exactly what they had was for the first couple of films as well, the cover is like a pumpkin.
Yeah.
And then from sort of Halloween 4 onwards...
It's Michael.
It's Michael. And I think at this point, they've kind of established that from 4 at least, he's a horror icon.
Yeah.
Sort of in the same realm as Jason, Freddy, Leatherface, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I honestly think that if Halloween was its own film by itself, it would still be held in the same vein that it is today. I don't think we would have to look at any of the other films.
I think the reason why Halloween is so highly thought of is because of that film.
Yeah, it is. It definitely laid the groundwork. But I honestly think if you forget everything that happens after Halloween 2, it's still a good film if you just think about what happened in that one film itself. And I think partially it's because...
It's like one-offs like Psycho.
Yeah, but no, Psycho's not a one-off.
Is it not?
There's like 4 Psycho films.
Oh, yeah.
And a series.
Verse cannot be that good then.
And a series as well. But I think...
my time.
Yeah. I think the mystery of not knowing why Michael has done this thing, everyone keeps saying he's a psychopath. But why? It's never that simple in films. There's always something that's happened to them to make them that way.
Gotta be something. But like Dr. Loomis says, there's no soul in him. His eyes are just pure black.
Yeah.
It's just pure evil.
Yeah.
There's no soul in Michael Myers.
Yeah. So, I mean, shall we rank this now then? Where would we...
Yeah, so where would you personally put?
Well, I don't know. I think it's... I don't want to be too generic and say it's the best. But...
Mixed up. What happened?
I don't know. I've just mixed them up. I don't know why. I don't want to be generic and say it's the best, but honestly, I think it might be.
So do I.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that just...
starts it is a good film. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, it's the best because, it's the first one and none of the other films would survive without it. I honestly think the
mystery is there.
Yeah, the mystery of not knowing exactly what Michael sounds like. Why does he do this? That kind of thing.
Like, what is it against babysitters? Okay, there's that immoral thing that I said that he probably felt neglected when his sister looked after him.
Yeah.
But to go back out and stalk babysitters and kill babysitters and only babysitters.
Yeah.
Is weird.
Yeah.
Very weird. Like his mission, because obviously he kills people along the way to get where he needs to be. But his general mission is to kill babysitters.
Yeah. But I think this film, especially because of the year it was made and everything, I think it gave a lot to the horror genre, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it necessarily started the idea of the slasher, but
I think it did.
There was probably one before then, like Psycho.
Chainsaw Massacre. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre was before then as well, I think.
About 60s. But yeah, this is definitely one of the creates the sort of masked in your house kind of killer that will come for you rather than you stumbling across their lair or something like that. So yeah, I think, yeah, as generic as it is, I think Halloween 1 is probably the best one.
Yeah, I do.
Series.
Okay, so Halloween 2 is 1981. The budget for Halloween 2 was 2.5 million. So they boosted the budget.
Yeah, and that was because of the success of the first one.
Yeah. So in Halloween 2, we pick up where we left off.
So this is, I just want to point this out as well, because Halloween 2, it does take place the same, or at least it starts the same night as Halloween 1. Yeah. Which is weird because from all the other horror films that I've seen in different series and that, it's always like 1 year later, 5 years later, 10 years later.
I like the ones that start off literally straight away.
Yeah, and I don't know why they choose to do that. How soon after Halloween 1 did it come out?
3 years.
3. Oh, okay. So they've had enough time to come up with a plot and everything. They're not being reactive and going, shit, we've got a gold mine here. Pump something out.
So they have gone into it and they have looked at it. So obviously we know that at the end of Halloween 1, Dr. Loomis shot Michael Myers. He went out the window but then vanished.
Yeah. So this is where we
pick up. Laurie goes to hospital. Dr. Loomis is still telling the police they need to look for him.
Yeah.
And this is where they start finding bodies. And you've got to remember, one of the bodies was also the chief's daughter.
Mm.
But this is also where we find out that he's not just after Laurie because his babysitter is after Laurie because it is his biological sister.
Yeah, which...
She was left on a doorstep and put up for adoption and ended up back in Huddersfield.
Do you think they had the idea for that family connection when they made Halloween 1, though?
I don't know. I don't think it changes anything, even if they did.
I think... in a way, they kind of... because this is where they start explaining a bit more about why Michael is the way he is, what's motivated him, and they've created this connection between him and Laurie. I don't think they intended for there to be a connection in the first film, but I think they also looked at it and thought him just having a thing against babysitters isn't enough of a motivator. We need something else.
The thing is, they knew that there was going to be a second film because body damages. Yeah. If you see an ending like that, it's cliffhanger, you know something's coming.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of the monster's been killed and then the claw comes out the grave or something like that. You know, they're still alive. That's fine. And there are series that have ended there on that cliffhanger and they've never made another film, which is fine. But I think, I mean, they do it a lot. It happened in Scream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Years down the line, we need a new protagonist. Okay, we've got a protagonist. Let's make him the original killer's daughter.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, you're trying to come up with a connection so that people can still feel attached to this character.
Yeah.
They're trying to come up with a reason why Laurie isn't just another babysitter, just another body.
Yeah.
There's something that makes her more important or on a higher platform to Michael, and therefore you should feel the same. There's some importance about Laurie that makes her different to everybody else that he's managed to kill.
Yeah. And why he's gunning for her.
Yeah, but they don't really explain why that is at this point. I think the remake explains that more.
Yeah, let's not discuss the remakes just now.
No, we won't go into that just yet. But out of Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, I think there's a bit of a drop in quality. I think some of it is, to me at least, the connection felt a little bit forced.
I think the only thing...
Like, I don't think it was planned. I don't think when they were making Halloween 1, they were like, we're going to create this character called Laurie. She's going to be the killer's sister. We'll explain
that as a scenario. I'm wondering if there is actually, like, an interview out there.
I don't think... I don't think it's like Marvel, where they've got, like, the next 10 years worth of films lined up. And I think that's partially because budgets were so low back then. You weren't guaranteed a sequel. You know what I mean? They didn't know how well it was going to do. So I think when they were making Halloween 2, they were trying to come up with, how can we connect the main character with this killer? How can we realistically give a reason for this person to survive this yet again? Without it just being luck. It needs to be that somehow this person's skilled, or, you know, the killer, they've got some kind of strength against the killer. What could that strength be?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there is like an interview about that with the writers.
There probably is, but that's the feeling that I got while watching it. I think it's a slightly more forgettable than Halloween 1 as well.
So the budget that it made in the budget was 2.5 million, and the box office venue, they only have the United States one. So the US box office venue revenue was 25.5 mil.
Right.
So nowhere near as much as, like, 3/4 of the amount of, a quarter of the amount of Halloween.
So it didn't do as well.
So it didn't do as well.
Right, and I can see why. I think
it was an enjoyable film. I enjoyed the killings. Do you know what I mean? The killings were still creative. And it gave a little bit of a story to who Michael Myers is. It kind of filled him out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
they don't really... Halloween 2, we're still just going under the impression that he's just a man.
Yeah.
He's just a man. Yes, he's being shot, but
it's kind of stuck here.
Humans have been shot before and lived.
Yeah.
So it's kind of... Yes, it's weird that you're looking at him 1 minute, you turn around, you turn back and he's gone, but there's nothing to suggest at the moment that he's anything other than just a sick man in a mask.
Yeah. So at the end of Halloween 2, Loomis corners Michael in an operating room, gets Laurie out, makes sure she's safe, and then explodes the room. And you see Michael is engulfed in flames, and he stumbles out the room, and then he finally dies.
He gets poked in the eyes, doesn't he? His eyes, he gets blinded in this scene.
Yeah.
And the ending scene, which... Again, we're talking about him just being a man at the moment. There are things that happen later. One of my questions was, in the future films, how can this guy still see?
Yeah.
Because he was stabbed in both his eyes.
Well, it's not even just how can he see. As we'll go along, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but in the eyes of just watching these two films, they fit together quite well. First one is definitely the best. The second one is a lot more underrated, is a lot more overhyped than it probably should be. I think that, to me, is probably a 4.
Yeah, I feel like some of these other films I remember more because of the things that happen in them. I think Halloween 2, the original, there's not as many memorable things. The last scene is definitely one of them.
See, I watched it a lot more than I've watched the others, so I remember it a lot more.
Yeah, but I know Loomis gets scarred, and that's something that carries over to the other films as well. So that explains.
Well, he was in the room when it blew up. So.
Yeah, and that's how he gets scarred. But that's kind of the carryover to the other films.
It kind of finished with us not knowing if Loomis was alive or dead.
Yeah,
because he was in the room. It was an exploded room. It's human.
Yeah. So I mean, 4, I think it's a little low. I would say probably a 3.
Okay. Okay, 3.
We'll go with 3 then. Okay. There we go. That way we're leaving a bit of wiggle room for 2 as well. Again, we might move that if there are some that are better. So which one comes after?
So now we've got Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Okay. Let's talk about Halloween 3.
So I think we're going to spend quite a bit of time about Halloween 3.
Right, Halloween 3 came out in 1982.
It's got a subtitle as well, hasn't it? Season of the Witch.
Yeah, I've already said that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
It came out in October 1982. So there was only a year between Halloween and Halloween 2 and Halloween 3.
There's a reason for that, though, isn't there?
So the budget, again, was 2.5 million.
Mm.
Let's talk about what happens in the film.
Oh, no, let's talk about how it was created first. Why it's created. Because it's very, very different. The big thing is there's no Michael Myers, is there? That's the main thing that separates it from every other film in the series.
Yeah, there's no Michael Myers. The film is about hospital mass. No, it's not.
Halloween.
Not in COVID. The film is fully about Halloween masks, and it's about a certain company regarding the Halloween masks. It's the Silver Shamrock.
Silver Shamrock Novelties.
So, Silver Shamrock have a very special, hyped up advert that they play quite a lot, and it says, "Slide stuck Halloween, Halloween, Halloween." It's kind of spooky. It's kind of creepy.
And if you look at the video that they play while that's playing, that's quite creepy as well. It's got the kid morphing into the pumpkin.
Yeah, there's a pumpkin head in there.
Yeah.
And it's really strange. It's creepy, okay? It is creepy. It does the job. The kids are so excited because it's creepy, it's Halloween.
Well, I watched this nearly a week ago and I still remember that jingle. That's the biggest takeaway from this film, that fucking jingle.
So I have a guilty pleasure of this film. This film's absolutely shit. Not gonna lie. It makes zero sense to me.
There's no returning characters.
Yeah, it's about a woman who goes looking for a father, and they come across her, and a doctor comes across this whole massive Silver Shamrock not conspiracy because it's true, but this whole massive cult. Yeah,
it's something to do with the Silver Shamrock masks that they're producing.
So basically, the goal from Silver Shamrock Halloween masks is to kill children while they're wearing the masks when they watch the Silver Shamrock.
Yeah.
Final. The cat's crying.
The adverts keep saying things like, make sure you wear your masks and watch the broadcast on Halloween.
And the reason is because they're going to kill the children while they watch it. The final ad thing turns their head into maggots and worms and all the creepy crawly bugs that is just really creepy.
Yeah. So the film itself, because this is where we're going to have to do a bit of trickery with how we talk about this. So if you take that film away from the Halloween franchise and just talk about the film as it is, what happens in the film,
it could be a good film.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of attaches this to the franchise is the fact it takes place at Halloween. That's it.
Well, you said that it would have been better if it linked itself to the mask.
And that's what I thought. That's what I thought they were going to do.
That would make sense.
So I thought, until I saw the scene where the masks turn the kids into maggots.
Yeah, she said it during the film, and I was like, sure.
I thought what they were going to do was the Silver Shamrock Corporation were making masks that maybe like control children and get them to kill other people. And
Which would make more sense.
Yeah, and I thought that was how they were going to connect it to Michael Myers. So it's going to turn out that the mask that he wore as a child, the clown mask where he killed his sister, was one of the Silver Shamrock masks. And I thought they were going to say maybe for whatever reason, it had kind of brainwashed him to the point where
evil.
Yeah, even without that mask, he still wants to kill. So now he's
never reverted back because so it would make sense as well, because the reason why it would have made sense if it didn't kill the children, and let's just point out that it totally went against Halloween 1 and 2 where it didn't kill children.
Yeah.
So only killing children.
Yeah.
So if your theory would have been amazing if they did it with the clown masks and there was so few other masks, and at the end of this film, the doctor manages to get every station to take it off the air apart from one station.
And that's the one that Michael Myers...
And that could have been the one that Michael Myers was watching, and he was the only kid that watched it before it switched off. And because it didn't fully get him, it just turned him evil.
Yeah, and that could have made this like a nice little prequel.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have explained everything.
Yeah. Now, I mean, this film by itself, if it wasn't given the label of Halloween 3 and it was called like Silver Shamrock or something like that, I think it would have been forgotten.
Yeah, it would have.
It would have been
It's one of those guilty pleasure, cheesy horror films that make zero sense, but you can't help but watch it.
Yeah.
A bit like Beaster Bunny.
It would be something that gets shown at really obscure film festivals and stuff like that, I think.
It's one of those films that get shown on weird indie channels or really, really late at night. This film only airs when everybody's in bed.
It would be something that you would watch on YouTube for free because the copyright holders don't exist anymore. The copyright holders went bankrupt in the 90s or something like that.
So the revenue in the US box office reflected how bad this film was.
Right.
So the budget was 2.5 million and the revenue was only 14.4 million.
Right.
So it did badly.
Yeah. And I think that's partially, that'll probably be because of word of mouth. People will have gone to see it. It's got absolutely nothing to do with Michael Myers. So they probably have told family and friends, don't bother watching this. It doesn't explain anything more about Michael Myers or anything like that. He's not in it. It's just a weird mask film. And the reason for that, from what I've seen when I've read online, is the intention was, I mean, it only came out a year after Halloween 2.
Literally, yeah.
The plan was they were going to make a different film every year under the Halloween banner. So Halloween 4 would be completely unconnected to 1, 2, and 3. Halloween 5 would be completely unconnected to 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
And it was going to be a yearly release. Now, obviously, it bombed.
So they didn't stick to that plan.
So they returned, and you can see here, Halloween 4, they returned to, let's go with what we know works. Michael Myers, Laurie, killing babysitters, Haddonfield, there, Loomis. So that's why Halloween 3 is so different. It does stick out like a sore thumb. I think maybe if they'd done Halloween 1 and then this was Halloween 2,
yeah,
it would have had more of a chance than it being Halloween 3 because people were expecting Michael Myers.
Okay.
I think if they would have had a better chance to do what they originally wanted to do, which is a different film related to Halloween every year, if this had been Halloween 2.
Right, okay.
Because Halloween 1 would have then been known as the Masked Killer. This would have been known as the Killer Masks. And then who knows what Halloween 3 would have been. Maybe like a trick-or-treater that poisons candy or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So where would you place Halloween 3?
Personally, out of the 3 we've got now in 13, probably 13. I'm not going to lie. It's a guilty pleasure. I like the film. But if we don't include the films that we're going to talk about, it is the worst film. Yeah. But actually thinking about it, if I include the rest of the films, I'd probably put it about 7, maybe 8.
I'm thinking it's one of the... When I say it's one of the worst, I mean in the context of it being the Halloween film. The film itself is all right. It's something I would probably watch.
Yeah.
You know, 12 o'clock on a Friday night before bed.
To me, it's a guilty pleasure. I actually enjoy that film, but it's shit. It's a shit film.
So you said 7.
Or 8.
7 or 8. I was thinking about 9, maybe 10. So shall we go with
9?
9?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we might move that because there are things about some of these other films that I don't like. So we'll go with 9 for that.
Okay, so let's move on. I've just found out a fun fact as well. I absolutely love this fun fact that I've just found out. I'm not going to lie.
Halloween 4.
Let's talk about Halloween 4. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, came out in October 1988.
So how did he die? How did he die at the end of 2? That was the explosion.
So he died at the end of 2 in the explosion.
Yeah.
So we see the return of Michael Myers, and this is where we start to think, is he human?
Yeah. I've just realised as well, the subtitle. Was there a subtitle for Halloween 2?
No.
No. So, I mean, the return of Michael Myers, to me, that's an admission of them saying Halloween 3, we know it didn't do well.
So we're returning him.
So we're making it very clear. For the first time, they've put him on the cover, but also the subtitle, The Return of Michael Myers. To me, that's them saying, hey, guys, don't worry. What you enjoyed about 1 and 2 is back.
Yeah.
So please come and see this film.
We are going back to the slasher.
Yeah.
Creepy stalker slasher dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so Halloween 4, 1988, I can't remember how, so it's 10 years since Halloween 2. So Michael's back in the insane asylum. And he learns that Laurie Strode has died in a car crash. But he also learns that she's left behind a daughter called Jamie. So again, he escapes, makes his way in search to Haddonfield in search of his niece. Josh Loomis again comes back and he's got this boil.
No, it's like it's like a
really, really
bad practical effects burn.
Yeah,
she would have
it's
got.
awful.
Yeah, so I mean, we get confirmation straight away. We got confirmation Michael made it through that explosion, but also Loomis made it.
Yes,
as well. The one that we had no doubt made it, Laurie, we discovered died off screen.
Yeah,
which
is strange.
A little bit of a cop out, and while watching, because they've established in 1 and 2 this connection between him and Laurie, it did feel a little bit to me like, okay, so you couldn't get Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
So you just killed her off screen. And again, you couldn't even just kill her off screen and then go, he's now hunting new people. You had to have some kind of family connection, which is her daughter.
What was Jamie Lee Curtis up to? She was doing quite big named films. So she was starring John Travolta. She in the film Perfect. She was doing. She was in a lot of films, so I'm guessing there would have been a lot of scheduling conflicts, so she wouldn't have been able to go back. But yeah, in 1985, she brought out a film. In 1986, she brought out a film. 1988, she brought out a film. 1989, she brought out a film. She was busy. She was busy, very, very busy, which is probably why she couldn't go back at that time.
So this explains why they've kind of written her out by saying she died in the car crash, but we can't have Michael Myers. We've got to give him a motivator. Without Jamie Lee Curtis, so what do? Let's come up with a family member
he goes after family members. That's what you learn in Halloween 2.
Yeah.
So they've got to keep that going. Okay, right. Personally, I get it. I get why they did it. The film is not the same without Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's not. And there's a few Halloween films without Jamie Lee Curtis. And I think in the same way that Halloween 3 didn't feel the same because there was no Michael Myers, I think the ones without Jamie Lee Curtis, even the ones where her character is played by somebody else, it's not the same. It has to be Jamie Lee Curtis. It doesn't feel right without either one of those characters.
So, don't get me wrong, Jamie, who plays the daughter, is very, very good.
Yeah.
She's a really good actress. Do you know who plays her?
Who?
Danielle Harris. Does that name sound familiar? No. Did we not talk about that name on The Fourth Sister?
Is she Aviva?
Yes.
Right.
And she's Tosh from Urban Legends.
All right.
She became another screen queen.
Oh, okay.
So my screen queens is Jamie Lee Curtis, Danielle Harris, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, same reason. Jenna Ortega now, she's really good.
You know when you say screen critic, sorry, Ed, it's completely random, but I did say it while we were watching Halloween 1 as well. And I think anybody that's watched old films will agree with me. When women get attacked, you'll have like the most quietest film with quiet music, and then as soon as a woman gets attacked, it's like they shove the microphone in her mouth, and it's really fucking loud, like very fucking loud. It's so.
I think the thing is, that's the whole point, though. Is to get people scared, and the way to know that a woman is scared is by screaming. If you guys are horror films, or if you're a serial killer, don't bother coming after me. I can't fucking scream.
It sounds more guttural, I think, because Halloween horror films these days, when a woman screams, it's very much sort of, like very, like they're going, "What's the best scream I could do?"
Realistic.
Yeah.
The back in all slasher films where they are actually scared for their lives, and you hear them scream, like Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. That is a frightened scream. And that is a true scream.
Well, from some of the DVD extras that we've watched as well, that have just come on automatically while we've been watching these, it sounds like Jamie Lee Curtis, when she's in the film, she throws her all into it. Yeah. She's like, "No, just attack me. Just fucking come at me."
Yeah, honestly, we let the last DVD play, didn't we? But we'll talk about that later.
She's got a stunt double. She's smart enough to,
not get hurt.
Especially in the newer ones where she's an old lady now. And they're saying, we've got to do this bit where you get thrown through a glass table. Obviously, she's not like, "Hell yeah, do it." It's like, okay, I've got to be sensible. But she,
probably cripple me for a few days to get that person to the vet.
Yeah,
I can't do that anymore. So,
yeah, but Halloween 4
was okay.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of
it had the Halloween vibes. The stalking of the babysitter, because they went after they killed the foster mum and the foster dad straight away.
Yeah.
They went after the foster sister.
Loomis was fucking cruel to.
No, that's the next one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is the one where we're first introduced to Jamie.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And she's took her out, and a foster sister has to babysit, and they take her around all the shops.
Michael,
Halloween thing. He's come back from the dead, but he also has no scarring. So let's not.
I mean, the thing is, he's been put in an asylum and everything at the start, so it's kind of like you still think he is a man. The only thing that kind of suggests that he's not is but his body's been put through a lot of shit.
But he's had no burnt hands. When he's stabbing, his hands aren't burnt. He was literally on fire.
Yeah.
The last time we saw him.
Yeah, but you could also say he was wearing a boiler suit and everything. He's just got fucking lucky. But the thing that stood out to me was he can see. That's kind of like, what did he get stabbed in the eyes with? I don't actually remember. It was something sharp. It wasn't just like a poke.
Like a scalpel. There was an operating.
I think it was a scalpel. It's not just like, unless she's got him, you know, in the eyelids and the blood has made it so he can't see or something. But I was under the impression she stabbed him in his eyes and he was now blinded. But I guess not. You can kind of explain it away that way. So at this point, he's still a man. Just a very lucky, stocky man.
But yeah, so
bit of a cop out, killing Laurie off screen.
Apart from like I said, it is not the same about Jim Lee Curtis, but it was a good slasher.
Yeah.
So I personally would put that at probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, let's go with 4. I'm in agreement. I think it's probably somewhere towards the top. Yeah, so
they brought back Michael Myers. Some things were overlooked, and Laurie wasn't in it. But all in all, the storyline made sense. It was a good film.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of that film, Jamie touches Michael, and she somehow gets slightly possessed, and she then kills the stepmom.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the bit where it's kind of like, okay, so there's a bit more to this than him just being a man who's obsessed. This is where we start creeping into, like...
No, I was wrong. I was getting the foster people mixed up with the other film. So they didn't kill off the foster bits.
This is where they start hinting that there's something...
abnormal.
Yeah, there's something maybe a bit paranormal about how Michael is able to withstand all of these things that are happening to him.
Because he does get shot multiple times.
Yeah.
Again. And he's dead. But at the end, you see Jamie in a clown's costume holding the knife. And Dr. Loomis kind of sees it, that something bad's going to happen. And he shouts no up the stairs.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, when I saw that, I thought for a second it's like they're indicating she's going to be the next Michael Myers.
So did I, to be fair.
And I guess I wonder if at the time when people were watching that in the cinemas, I bet a lot of people thought just, oh, okay, so if they do make another Halloween film, it's probably going to be her as the killer.
But they don't.
No.
So this is where we move on to Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. So Halloween 5 picks up directly from the previous film. So it does pick up. It does pick up at the end. So again, you see Jamie coming out of the bathroom after she's killed a foster mum, stepmom in the shower. And she gets committed. But she gets committed to a child mental health clinic. And in this film, we didn't talk about budget. So the budget for Halloween 4 was... $5 million. And it hit, and revenue sales in the US, it hit 17.7 million. So it did a lot better. It did better than Halloween 3, but nowhere near as good as 2, nowhere near as good as 1. So Halloween 5, The Return of Michael Myers came out in October 1989. So this is a year later. And in this one, Jamie is in a child's mental hospital.
She doesn't speak.
She doesn't speak. So this is 1 year after the incident. So it picks up straight after. We get a flashback of what happens. And then a year later, she's in a mental hospital. She doesn't speak. She does a bit of sign language.
Yeah, but the fact she doesn't speak, that's kind of like Michael Myers. So there's a few hints of kind of like she's picking up some of his traits, killing the babysitter, and
she has psychic connections to him.
She can see what he sees.
Yeah.
Which is weird. This is, again...
So this is where we're going towards the paranormal. And they must have known to be able to keep on bringing him back, there's got to be a paranormal link, otherwise it's not going to work.
Yeah, because the human body can only be blown up, stabbed and shot so many times before it just kind of gives up.
So this one... Dr. Loomis is in it again, and this time he actually looks scarred. It looks real.
The prosthetics have got a lot better since
in a year.
This film. Yeah.
They must have known how much they fucked up in the previous film, and that it just looked like a boil on his face. So
he's a lot meaner in this film. He's gone from sort of wanting to help Michael, wanting to get Michael to keep everyone safe and reformed, to almost like obsessed.
Yeah. And he's cruel. So some scenes he is cruel to Jamie. He's shouting in the face.
Yeah.
And he's quite horrible to her. And it's like, but you need to remember she's just a child.
Yeah, but I think because, I mean, he's got this scar on his face, so every time he looks in the mirror, he's reminded of Michael.
Well, yeah, he must be traumatized, but then traumatize a traumatized child further.
Well, he wants to use her as
he used her for bait. He literally used her for bait towards the end of the film.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't actually remember how Michael, does he die at the end of this one?
So, at the end of this one,
oh, no, I do remember.
Is taken to jail, and he's broken out by a mysterious stranger.
Somebody walks in,
all dressed in black,
with a Tommy gun and shoots the place up.
Yeah.
And Jamie goes in after to see what's happened, because obviously the cop who she was sat in the cop car with has gone in and hasn't come back out. She goes in, the place is wrecked, there's dead police everywhere. She makes it to Michael's cell and it's empty.
He's gone.
So this weird, mysterious person that went in has broken Michael out of prison. So again, Michael Myers is on the loose. So we've got a few questions, which is like, why have they broke him out? Who is this person that's broken Michael out of jail?
Yeah.
And what's going to become of Jamie? Because she's now unprotected. There's no cop there with her. So, yeah.
Okay, right. So let's see. So the budget, again, was $5 million.
Yeah.
And this one only took 11.6 million in the box office. I kind of see why. I'm not going to lie. So I enjoyed, again, the murder scenes. Slasher scenes were great. I loved the whole farm scene with the little kittens. And I enjoyed that. I think the psychic connection between Jamie and Michael took it too far.
I don't know, because they're laying the groundwork for paranormal stuff, which leads into the next film. So I guess kind of they were kind of like, we don't want it to be as big of a jump to what's coming up next. So let's start putting little hints there. I mean, they've even done it in fucking EastEnders, didn't they? Like the twin connection between the Beale,
Lucy and Peter.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, what's the most realistic paranormal thing we can do? Oh, there's a connection. There's like a psychic connection between two people.
It's not the worst. No, it isn't the worst film. But
I think, thinking about it though, the psychic connection that she's got where she kind of knows where Michael's going to be because she can see from his point of view. Was it needed? No. Because you could kind of have like a cop on site who's seen Michael and they call it in over walkie-talkie, and that's how the other police learn where he is. It doesn't.
That's what I mean. I don't think it was needed. I think they took it a little bit too far. I think they made Loomis too much of a bad guy in this.
I don't know. I think they were showing him becoming
His
almost
obsession.
insane. Yeah, obsession's got the best of him. And I think because now Laurie's dead as well, it's almost like he's the only one left, the only one from the original Haddonfield's massacre. He's the last one. He wants to catch this guy because I'm pretty sure Laurie was like the last person involved besides him that was still alive. And the fact she's dead, he's now angry because he's almost failing this.
Yeah.
Because the last person that he was supposed to keep alive, protected, by catching Michael, he hasn't been able to do that.
Yeah.
And he does mention it in one of the films as well, that his hands are burned, his face is burned, and that's because of Michael.
Yeah. I get it. I do. It's just...
He's very mean, like.
He's mean to a child, and I don't see that in Loomis. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he doesn't...
The thing is, he's always been quite headstrong, and he's always been quite forceful when it comes to Michael.
Yeah.
But the way he treated Jamie in this film went a bit too much, especially when she was near enough for having a seizure, and he was screaming in her face.
Tell me where Michael is. Why are you protecting him?
That's what I mean. And it's like, she's not protecting him. She can't fucking talk. Back off. And if I was there, I'd wanted to hit him. Do you know what I mean? He just made me really angry.
Yeah. So where would you put Halloween 5 on here then? I
think probably about a 7 or 8. Maybe 6 at a push.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna say 5. Because I don't know. I was actually thinking of 2 just then, because I actually prefer that one more than Halloween 2.
I prefer 4.
You prefer 4?
I prefer 4 to 5. I think the storyline in 4 makes more sense than the storyline in 5.
So what number did you want? 6 or 7, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I said 5, so should we go with 6?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try not to refresh the page again. There we go. And again, if we need to move that later, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where I get very confused, because this is where we lose the number system and we start adding the revenge, resurrection, returns.
Okay, so this is actually in the original series, in the original timeline, you had Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
They admitted Halloween 3 was nothing to do with it.
Wait, 6?
The Halloween, the Curse of Michael Myers.
Is that the one we're on now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's technically Halloween 6 then?
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
So, Halloween, the Curse of Michael Myers came out in September 1995.
Yeah.
So it picks up 6 years after Halloween 5. And at the beginning of the film, we see Jamie strapped to a table, giving birth, surrounded by a cult.
Mm.
Very, very strange.
She's now older, isn't she? She's not. Yeah. She's not a little kid anymore.
This is. It doesn't say how long. Yeah, it's 6 years after the events of Halloween 5. So it's 6 years later in actual years, but also in the.
How old was she in Halloween 5, though?
See, this is where I don't get it, because she doesn't look old enough to have a baby. No, she looks old enough to have a baby, but in
Halloween 5, I thought she was like 9. So that would make her like...
And that a push.
That would make her like 15, 16.
16, 17.
In Curse of Michael Myers. Yeah, she didn't look old enough to have a baby, but she does. She has a baby. And this is where we kind of learn who broke Michael Myers out of the...
So they so the mysterious stranger was the one that broke Michael out of jail, also kidnapped Jamie.
Yeah, which makes sense because she went into the prison to then see that the cell was empty. So that makes sense. The same person that got Michael Myers out gets her too.
Yeah. So Jamie gives birth to a baby boy.
Who's the dad? Do they ever explain who the dad is?
No.
Weird.
They immediately take the boy away. Well, she was kidnapped, wasn't she? She was held in captivity.
So presumably she's been...
Someone...
assaulted.
There, yeah.
Weird.
This was weird. Okay, right.
I went off on a big rant when we watched this film because of the cult aspect of it. And that's what they are. They're a cult.
Yeah.
I guess they want to use Michael Myers for something.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, they've hinted towards cults in Halloween 3, because that's what Silver Shamrock was, but also it's this, that's unrelated to all the other films, but there was some kind of weird obsession with cults in the 80s and by early 90s, and I don't know why. And I went off on a rant when we watched this film, because it seems like if you create enough films or stories or whatever, eventually it devolves to there being a cult that worships this thing or wants to use this thing to do something. It even happens and I used creepypasta as the example, like Jeff the Killer. He's very much like a Michael Myers type creature. And then eventually there's like a cult of Jeff, and then there was the Slender Man, and then there's like people that worship Slender Man, and then they invent a cult. Cults aren't scary to me. They're not.
I'm guessing at that time, you had The Craft, Buffy was popular. It was at the time where witchcraft and paranormal stuff was beginning to become big.
What does, because I missed what the actual point of the cult was. I was more interested in just the slashings, the killings that Michael was doing. So what is this cult to accomplish?
Don't actually know, because again, I'm like you, I enjoy the killings. I didn't quite understand it. So
it was something like they want Jamie's baby for some reason.
It's revealed that Michael is driven by the curse of Thorn.
Yeah.
Which forces a person to kill their entire family in order to save all of civilization.
So they're kind of looking at like...
the end of the world.
Yeah, they were talking about runes and stuff. So they're now trying to kind of explain why Michael did what he did in the first film. And they're trying to say that it's not so much that Michael's just a psychopath. There's this paranormal thing that's driven him to do that. That to me is not scary.
No.
Because we've now suddenly got an explanation for why Michael is the way he is.
I like the fact that you don't know anything, and I think that's why I blanked it all out. That's why I was like, I don't understand this.
I said to you, what's scarier? The fact that, you can explain why a human being has become evil, or
but just the unnecessary explanation.
Yeah, or the fact that somebody's just evil and either they don't want to explain why it is, or some people are just born broken. There's no explanation to it. And I think that
is more scary, especially in a horror.
Yeah, because to me it suggests that you've got this baseline of what a human is that doesn't commit evil, and then something happens to them that makes them evil. That to me isn't scary, because that suggests that Michael Myers himself isn't a bad guy. It's this paranormal thing happening to him that's making him do these awful things. That's not scary to me. What would be scary is somebody born one day who just snaps, kills people, decides they're not going to talk anymore. They're not going to tell you why they've done what they've done. They've just done it. Because that suggests that I could do that. You could do that. The neighbours could do that. It could happen to anyone.
Yeah. The thing is, if you took the court side away from it and you didn't have that storyline, but you still had the storyline of Jamie giving birth and Michael coming back to kill Jamie and her baby, And I like the fact that they brought Tommy Doyle back.
From the first film.
From the first film, and he's the kid that Laurie babysat.
Yeah, played by Paul Rudd.
And I enjoyed the fact that it was Laurie's adoptive cousin who helped him.
Yeah.
But to me, there was no need for that cult. That could have been a slasher in all of its own. They could have just built a storyline with Michael Myers coming back and the return of Tommy Doyle trying to help save the baby. Michael Myers killed off Jamie. The baby's now safe with Tommy. He then goes after everyone that's trying to protect the baby. That, to me, in itself is scary because you've now got a serial killer, a horror slasher serial killer trying to kill a baby. That in itself is enough of a storyline.
Yeah. But the thing, I mean, if you absolutely have to include a cult, right? If your boner for cults is that big that you must include it in Halloween, you had a cult in Halloween 3 with the Silver Shamrock novelty thing, Season of the Witch, right? So you've got your paranormal shit there. If you don't want Halloween 3 to be the outlier, incorporate that somehow. You've explained what Silver Shamrock is, that there's witches involved in this microchip in your mask and whatever, this cursed mask. Incorporate that into Michael Myers' mask. You don't need to create yet another cult. Use that one. Link it to Halloween 3 so that it's less of...
So that,
this...
So then Halloween 3 is more connected.
Yeah, and the thing is, they do remember Silver Shamrock because in later films, if you look at the tags of the masks that the children are wearing, they're by Silver Shamrock. It's just a reference. And in interviews, they've said Halloween 3 is completely unrelated to Michael Myers. But you can make it related.
Yeah.
You can start to kind of fill in some of these gaps. Again, I'd rather you not use a cult, but if you're going to, link it with something that you already
used.
Yeah, because otherwise it feels like, I mean, if we ignore Halloween 3 completely, right, pretend it never happened, you've got Halloween 1, 2, 4, which we'll call 3, 5, which we'll now call 4.
Halloween, the Curse of Michael Myers, which is 6, but now 5.
Yeah. Now suddenly you're talking about cults in the 5th film.
Makes no sense.
Doesn't make... No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. I think I'd preferred them to just, and they killed Jamie off really early on as well. So you've kind of...
I think...
You kind of established in Halloween... Which one was it? 4? Halloween 4, Laurie's dead. Forget about her. We know why. We can't get...
So the new focus is now on Jamie.
Is on Jamie. Here she is. She's a little kid. Don't you feel bad for her? Yeah. Okay.
Well, now she's grown up and had her own baby, and now she's killed.
And now she's dead too. So now we don't want you to care about her anymore. We want you to care about Paul Rudd's character
and the baby.
The baby and Laurie's cousin.
Yeah, the card.
Yeah. And the problem is the only connection you got with Paul Rudd is the first film. I know he didn't play Tom, is it Tommy?
Tommy, yeah. Tommy Doyle.
In that film, but his character was 4 films ago. And
you didn't remember who the kid's name was, because I was like,
his kid.
That's the kid out of the first film. And you was like, is it? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure he's the one that Laurie babysat. And we had to Google it to show you that it was the first guy.
And the only connections you've really got is his interactions with Laurie back then. That's it. So I don't think. I mean, I don't actually remember. Loomis is in this film.
This is his last film.
It's his last film.
Before he passes away.
So officially, Loomis is the only character that I know of that's been in up to this point. So the focus,
4 Michael Myers films.
Yeah, the focus is mainly...
No, 6 Michael Myers films, sorry.
Yeah, and he does seem a bit saner in this film than he does the previous.
Yeah, but he also gets double-crossed because it turns out the guy that helps Michael Myers escape is his partner.
Yeah.
And his colleague.
Yeah.
So there's too many storylines.
Yeah.
But like I said, for a true slasher, you didn't need that cult background.
No.
I think it would have done better if they didn't have the cult background.
Yeah.
But that's my personal opinion. Other people might feel a bit different.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've bashed this film quite a lot. Where would we put it?
See,
I don't think it's the worst, though.
I don't. But the main storyline, if you forget about the cult, I enjoyed the main storyline. I enjoyed the fact he was going after a baby, and that was now the main priority. I enjoyed the normal Michael Myers storyline. I enjoyed that. It was just the cult that didn't really do it for me.
Felt very tacked on. I know there was kind of the connection at the end of the previous film where they're kind of like, oh, there's a bigger thing happening. But like I say, I've read so many online creepypastas where the sequel to the sequel to the sequel now involves a cult that worships the monster. And it's like, it cheapens the monster or the villain when there's this big society of people that know about it.
So the interesting thing is, the budget for this was $5 million, the same as Halloween 5.
Yeah.
But this one actually brought in more money than Halloween 5 and 3. This one brought in 15.1 million.
Right. Can we think why that is?
It could possibly be the cult aspect, because like I said back then, cult was a big thing.
Is this one of Paul Rudd's first films by any chance? Or did he did it not? Because I'm trying to think, did any of the actors bring more attention to it?
Well, Paul Rudd's always been quite good looking, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. There's no point denying it, baby.
1995.
1995, yeah.
So when I think of horror films, what other horrors were coming out around that time? Were there any Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th? When was it released? Because if it was released around Halloween time, people might have gone to see it for Halloween.
September.
Yeah, I know sometimes.
But they're always out.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, some are out in July.
So the first 6 was out. The first 5 was out in October,
Which makes sense.
The 6th was out in September, and then it'll start going a bit off track after that.
Yeah, there was like some in July.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? I was trying to think, like, if it was the only horror film of that particular year out around Halloween, that might explain why everyone that was going to the cinema was putting the money into that film. That might explain. But yeah, to me, the main takeaway from this film was now we've got confirmation that Michael Myers is not just some man. There is something paranormal, supernatural about this guy that's keeping him alive. So when he's chasing you, you're not just being chased by a man in a mask, you're being chased by some creature that can't die.
Clueless?
Could be attention brought from that. We don't know what the trailers and stuff were like back then, so they must have really been selling the film, I guess. Right, where would you put it out of 13? I think it's pretty bad. I don't think it's the worst. I think maybe like an 11 or 10.
See, I think it's higher than that. But that's because of the rest of the films.
Okay, so if I say, what would you say?
Say 7.
So you think 7. If I say 10, should we go with 8?
Yeah.
Okay. I got the right one.
Like I said, I enjoyed the storyline.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, this was one of the first Halloween films I saw. So to me, it has like nostalgic like things. And when I was a kid, I kind of ignored the cool aspect.
So the next one, what is the next one?
So the next one is Halloween H2O, the return of the 20 years later.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a can of worms we've now got to open. The biggest is probably the fact that you've got Jamie Lee Curtis back.
Okay, right. So now we start a new timeline. We now ignore 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so we're only focusing on 1 and 2.
1 and 2, and then Halloween H2O. But I didn't know that. I, in my head, made up my own little story of why it's gone off branch.
Right, go on then.
I thought that she gave her daughter up for adoption because faked her death to make Michael Myers believe that she was gone, and she gave a child up for adoption because she didn't think it'll be linked to her and that Jamie would be safe.
Right.
That's how I had it in my head.
Okay, so in your head, that's kind of how you've justified Laurie still being alive and coming back.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was very young when H2O came out. That would have been
1998.
I'd have been 5. And even I remember my mum being very confused at the time. People talking about Halloween.
Halloween H2O came out in August 1998.
Yeah.
So it's the first one to come out summer.
Yeah, which is strange. I remember the people saying, or my mum at least, saying it's weird that it's out now.
Yeah, because normally they bring it out in the cinema to get everyone hyped up for Halloween. So it'll come out in the cinema about September, October time, and then released on DVD more towards Christmas.
Yeah.
But this would probably mean that it was released on DVD.
DVDs weren't the thing.
Well, video.
But they weren't commonplace. They would have been VHS.
But it'll be released on VHS. It'll be released in stores.
Yeah. Halloween.
So
they might have been relying on the home movie, let's just have a night in.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's probably quite smart, because if you're going out trick-or-treating and stuff, or you're going to a Halloween party, what are you going to do? You're probably going to put Halloween films on. That makes sense. Or go out to a Halloween party, come home, and then what do you do? Watch a film.
It would explain. Let's see if I'm right. Right.
That could, you might be right. That could be why.
There's Halloween H2O.
So we've spoke about...
This 23rd of October 1998.
Yeah. So we spoke about your little fan theory for why Jamie Lee Curtis was back.
But that made sense to me in my own little head.
Officially, why was she back though? So we're saying there's a new timeline.
There's a new timeline.
That only counts.
So you ignore
1 and 2.
Ignore every other sequel after the second film.
Okay. And they never really explain why that is in the film, obviously, because
which is why I thought she faked it out.
Yeah, I mean, they never kind of.
So
when we watched it, I thought it was a bit strange because
she did fake a death. No, that's why I thought she faked a death, because she did actually fake a death and she became a high school principal under a different name.
Well, in this film?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's got a son.
So she...
Not a daughter.
She became... Carrie Tate.
Yeah.
See, this is why I thought she faked to death, gave a daughter up for adoption so that if Michael Myers came back, it got released or whatever, he would never find out who Jamie is. But this like a closed adoption.
But this is because Loomis isn't in this one. This is another...
Loomis isn't in it because it's dead, babe.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. There's no like someone to go, oh, actually, she's still alive, or be shocked that she's alive.
This is what I mean.
She's pretty well hidden under this new name.
Exactly.
So why split the timelines? Why not
do what I just said?
Yeah.
Because to me it made sense. I mean, she would have caught pregnant quite early with Jamie.
Yeah. Because the only things that kind of would throw you off there would be, okay, if she's given up her daughter to keep her daughter safe, that plan didn't go to plan, because obviously the daughter's been stabbed.
But maybe, see, in my head, right? My head was she caught pregnant quite quickly after the first and second film with Jamie. She was scared. She was vulnerable. She had no parents. So she decided to give the baby up for adoption because she didn't know what else to do. She faked to death, became this new person. Then she got with someone else as a new person. And then caught pregnant with a son. But because she had already established a life and the baby would be registered under a new person, she wouldn't need to put it for adoption.
I mean, it's a little out of from what we see like in this film and also future films. It's a little out of character that she wouldn't really give a shit about what's happened to the daughter. or what.
Yeah, because she never actually mentions the daughter.
No, so that's how we kind of know.
But it would make more sense.
It would. I think officially the reason is they probably Jamie Lee Curtis was probably freed. They knew we can bring Jamie Lee Curtis back. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they were like, how can we incorporate Jamie Lee Curtis into this where we've just said she died in a car crash, fake a death. But then I think what they've probably done, because you got to remember the last film was all curses and a cult. And
they realised no, we need to step away from that.
I think they've probably gone, so we've already established this paranormal shit. We don't then also, and we've introduced new characters, got you attached to them, and then killed them off as well. What we don't want to do is then complicate it even more by going, there's somebody who faked their death. Instead, let's just...
No, what they do, they said that Laurie tells her boyfriend she faked her own death.
Yeah, but I think rather than them going, but now also we've got to kind of inform Laurie that her daughter's been killed, because she's going to be even more emotionally scarred then, because they obviously want some kind of child of her in the film.
Or
they would also then be forced to kind of explain why she kept her son but not her daughter. I know it's under a new relationship.
But there's so many plot twists already, like, I don't think it would matter.
Yeah,
I think to me it just makes more sense if she did it the way that I think would have worked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in my head, that until rewatching everything and seeing that there is actually different timelines, I always believed that she gave her daughter up for adoption when she faked to death.
Yeah.
To try and protect her, because her on legal documents it will say Laurie Strode.
Is this the first Halloween that doesn't take place in Haddonfield?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's moved away from.
Well, she's moved away.
She would if you want to change your name and stuff and go missing, you won't stay in the same place.
Well, this is the thing. If you think about it, every time like someone's up for adoption or anything, even the police officer that took Laurie away and left her outside of a hospital, he did it 3 or 4 times over, and she still ended up back in Haddonfield.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, her character is a bit of a much tougher version of what she was in Halloween 2.
Well, she has to grow. She's a survivor.
She's not as tough as she is in the remakes, in the newest Halloween films, but she's still sort of...
Don't fuck with me, because I'm...
Yeah, she knows what to expect from Michael at this point.
So...
And she's very protective of her son because of her own experiences. Her son doesn't really... So he was born, he doesn't understand why.
I think she has told him about Michael Myers. She has told him her past, because he does bring it up and say Michael Myers is dead.
Yeah.
So this is where the end of Halloween 2, everyone believes is dead.
Yeah.
So I think she changed her name, she became a head teacher, she had a son, and they're going on a camping trip. He fights with her about it, and she finally gives him permission, but he ends up staying on school grounds with his girlfriend and 2 other friends. We have LL Cool J. Fucking love that guy as an actor. He's so funny. He is the security guard. He is trying to write a romance novel, and it sounds quite spicy. And Laurie's dating the counsellor, the school counsellor.
There's a really funny scene where when she's deciding to tell him what she's been through in this cafe, she asks for a glass of Chardonnay, I think it is.
Yeah.
And she's already got a glass in front of her, and the server kind of looks at it like, are you going to finish that one first?
Like, now?
She's like, getting me now, and downs the glass. And then when he brings the other one over, the glass is empty. And then she starts down in the next one as well, which...
She gets it to the level that it was at when a boyfriend goes to the toilet.
Yeah, so she's got her own...
She's got issues, but you would have issues.
Yeah.
If you find out that you was adopted and you find out that your real biological brother is trying to kill you,
yeah,
you're going to have some serious fucked up issues.
So how does this one end again? I don't remember.
So this one ends with Laurie decapitating Michael.
Ah, yeah. So he gets caught in the tree, doesn't he?
So she knows that he always comes back.
Yeah, and she does the smart thing.
And she robs the coroner's van.
Yeah, they're putting Michael in the ambulance, aren't they? She's
waiting for him to come alive. It's not an ambulance, it's a coroner's van.
Yeah.
She's waiting him to come back because she knows he's going to come back.
They always do.
And as soon as she sees him moving, she speeds up, slams into this, goes off road, so it tumbles. I always said, how come the axe always ends up near them to where they need to be when it goes out the window?
We spoke about this as well, and it's not just Halloween, it's every movie. So
why can you see everything?
Yeah, they're traveling at night down country roads. Take away the headlights, right? There's no light whatsoever. You would not be able to see anything.
No, you wouldn't be able to see an axe.
It would be pitch black. And obviously that'd be a very boring movie viewing experience for us if all we can see is black. So they always light it up in like a bluey light to kind of imitate nighttime.
Yeah.
But the axe or whatever it is they're looking for, the item that's on the ground, they always find very easily, when in real life you would probably, you wouldn't see it. You'd be like either stumbling around trying to find it, but you can always see it really clearly. You know exactly what's going on. She gets this axe and cuts Michael's head off.
Yes. So I've got to admit, when this came out, I was 11?
1998, yeah.
So I was 11, and this is one of the first horror films I watched.
I think it might have been one of the first I watched as well.
That I watched properly and understood it, because obviously I did actually watch horrors when I was younger, but I didn't really get storylines. I just saw blood and horror.
Well, I would have watched it when it first came out as well, and I'd have been about 5 or 6, so I would have understood.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have had any connection to the characters or anything. I'd have just known there's blood and screaming. And
so with the Halloween H2O came out around about the same time as Scream.
I remember thinking that's a stupid, even at age 6, that's a stupid fucking name for a film. H2O. I know why they've done it. Halloween 20 years later, the H2O, I just think water. It's stupid.
So, yeah.
And also, unless someone says it, I never know how to pronounce it. Is it H20 or is it H2O? You think it's...
I think it's Halloween H20, 20 years later. Halloween 20 years.
It is.
But I've got it Halloween H2O. But it's Halloween H20, not O.
But is it Halloween H2O? Is it H2O Halloween? Is it H20? Is it H20 Halloween?
I honestly think it's Halloween H20.
The subtitle is 20 years later, so that would mean that the full title is Halloween H2O 20 years later.
But it's not Halloween H2O, it's H20. It's
Halloween H20 20 years later.
So I think it's supposed to be Halloween 20 years later. So and they've shortened it to H20. But I always call it Halloween H2O.
So because like I say, if this was one of the first Halloween films that I watched, which I think it was, I do remember thinking there must be 20 Halloween movies. Because I never saw that.
But you so I get it.
I never saw that subtitle that says 20 years later because it's very small.
Yeah.
But I do remember that logo, H2O Halloween. So I remember thinking, okay, so it's the 20th Halloween movie. Why is it Halloween 20? Because that's what the H must stand for, Halloween. So it's the full title is Halloween 20 or Halloween H2O, but what's it got to do with water?
Yeah.
That's what
I don't think they meant to call it Halloween H2O, but everyone calls it Halloween H2O.
Yeah, I mean, this is back when, we're coming up to the new millennium. So everything was Millennium Silver. Everything was like 2K. Everything was like abbreviated, and it's showing its age, I think, just in the title.
So these are when this came out round about slasher film era. So you had Screams come out, and I was 11, so I watched Scream round about the time I watched Halloween.
Horror was
H2O. It was on point.
Horror was getting very experimental, so you were getting like your Final Destinations, your Screams, which I know has been done. It's a slasher, but it was probably like it was one of the more popular slashers around that time.
I love Scream. It's my favourite.
And
you even had a Freddy film. I think it was Freddy's Last Nightmare.
Yeah, there was a lot of things like Sci-Fi. The TV channel would change to Sci-Fright on Friday nights and stuff. Horror was becoming more acceptable, I think.
The 90s was very good for horrors.
Yeah.
So, Halloween H2O is one of my faves. And I love the storyline. I love the fact that, like, they're in the middle of nowhere and he still manages to find them. At the beginning of the film, because you start off with a nurse or social worker. And she's got her own home office. She knocks on the next door neighbour, gets the next door neighbour's kid to come round. Someone's tried to break into my house. So he goes in, checks it out, and is like, someone's done damage to your office, but also your kitchen. And it's because he's fucked up the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then she goes to go and check on him for help a little bit later and finds him with ice skate stuck in his face.
Yeah.
But that actor is also out of one of my other one of my favourite films, 10 Things I Hate About You. He's Cameron, who my son is actually named after. Because I love that actor and I love the kind of the character he played in 10 Things I Hate About You. And his name in that was Cameron, so I love the name Cameron. And I had that picked out when I was from a young age. And I named my firstborn Cameron.
So, I mean, without being blinded by nostalgia then, where would you put?
I still think it is a good film. I love the whole, like... I don't think I can look at this film and not feel nostalgia. I can't look at it in any other way. But I think that's because the slasher is on point. The murders, like breaking a leg and hanging her with the light bulb in her belly... It was just chef's kiss, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, this is second to me. I love this film.
So do you want this as number 2 then?
Yeah, I think this brought Michael back.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
I don't know. I would probably more... If we've got to go with the spaces that we've got... I'd probably lean more toward... I'd probably put it as 3, but I would have to move these 2 down then.
Okay, interesting.
Should we do that? Because I out of all of them I've watched, I would not put I know I wouldn't put H2O as the second best.
Yeah, I would.
You would?
There's no doubt in my mind that would not be anywhere else but 2.
So why don't we knock these 2 down then? If I'm saying...
Because I will not agree with you on anything you want to put on 2.
Okay, let's put this as 2 then. And then if we want to move any around at the end,
recap,
we'll have that discussion. Yeah. Okay, so the next film, I'm assuming if we go just based on DVD covers, I'm looking at which one looks the oldest. I'm going to go with Halloween Resurrection. Halloween
Resurrection is next, and it does pick up at the end of Halloween H2O. So we do have another follow-on. So on the new timeline, you have Halloween 1, 2, H2O, and Resurrection.
Yes.
So Resurrection is 3 years later, They kill off Jamie Lee Curtis at the beginning of the film.
Which is a bit of a piss take because she's on the cover. So that's kind of... It's a bit disingenuous, I think.
They explain Michael's return, because obviously nobody can come back from a decapitation. They basically... So Jamie Lee Curtis is locked up. She's in a prison psych ward. And the reason why is because she killed a paramedic.
Yeah.
So what happened was, when the paramedic was checking the vitals of Michael, no one else was around. Michael woke up, killed him, dressed him into... And they spot clothes.
Yeah, this is at the end of H2O. We didn't see this.
We didn't see this. But what we did see was when Laurie shouted Michael before she chopped his head off, he was touching his mask.
Yeah.
And he looked confused. And it was like, okay. And then he reached out his arm. And then she decapitates him. So I said that makes sense, though. So they knew they was going to make another one. So Halloween Resurrection came out in July 2022. No, fucking twat. July 2002.
So that's
4 years later.
Yeah, I mean, so if it wasn't for that grabbing at his own mask,
I wouldn't know.
I would say that the thing they came up with of actually that guy you beheaded wasn't Mike.
It was on the spot.
I would say that's a cop-out. That's like you were looking at ways of bringing him back. You came up with that. I think the fact it was planned...
was because he did do that and everything was already there. It was lined up perfectly.
Yeah, so that I actually think was a pretty clever, because they, you know what they could have done, and I think maybe it would be more of an early to mid 90s thing to do. So I'm glad they didn't do it all the way in 2002. But cool.
No.
They could have done something like, the cult managed to get what he had.
Yeah.
And they managed to resurrect him, and that's why it's called Resurrection. It's like, I'm glad they didn't go down that route.
So we find out this because two nurses are talking on the medication round.
Yeah, they do little flashbacks to you.
The nurse says to the more qualified nurse, why didn't he say anything? Michael crushed the paramedic's larynx, so he couldn't speak.
Mm.
So they had everything planned out. Everything. So somehow Michael gets in, she escapes, they end up on the roof. They think she's like proper psycho, that she doesn't talk, she just looks out the window. They think she's suicidal because they caught her on the roof so like a few times. But we see that she's not suicidal, she's not anything like that. She's actually made a trap on the roof.
Yeah.
But the stupid cow went to check who it is, and he stopped her and gets free, and she gets killed, and he goes off on a mission to kill other people.
Mm.
But
what's a bit weird though is, so I mean, if we go just based on the timeline of it being H2O to this, where's her son?
That's what I was going to say. John never makes an appearance in this, so Josh Hartnett doesn't come back.
Yeah.
And he's never mentioned again.
Yeah.
So instead of going after the son, which you'd think he would go after, but I'm wondering, when did Pearl Harbor come out?
Oh no. Are you going to say that the actor was too busy?
I think he may have been in Pearl Harbor.
But why didn't they just do what they did with Jamie Lee Curtis then and just say, oh, he was so stressed out about what happened, he overdosed, or he joined the army, so he's out the country, or something like that?
Yeah, they could have done anything. So Pearl Harbor came out in 2001, so it wouldn't have been that. But back then, in the early noughties, late 90s, early noughties, Josh Hartnett was the guy. Do you know what I mean? He was in all of your rom-coms. He was the...
Maybe this is where we learn that Pearl Harbor and Halloween take place in the same universe, and he was actually in... Oh no, Pearl Harbor takes place in the 40s.
I was going to say, babe, how'd you work that out? Pearl Harbor is part of history.
So he went back in time.
Okay.
And it was the Silver Sham. Michael that sent him back in time. But yeah, it's very, very strange. Like, I mean, watching the film, I forgot she even had a son while watching this.
Yeah.
Because he's not mentioned. Michael doesn't go after him. They don't mention why Michael's not going after him. The son, you know, there's no scenes of the son being told that actually his mum's been killed or anything like that. There's no...
He did 40 Days and 40 Nights in 2002.
You know what they could have done? You know what they could have fucking done? You know the conversation that the nurse was having at the start, telling the new nurse about, you know, we've caught her up on the roof and everything. I don't know if they did, but they could have said something like, none of her family, all of her family have cut her off. Even her own son won't come to see her anymore. Or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to kind of tie up that loose end of why is Michael not going after
John?
Why is John not coming to see his mum?
It makes no sense.
No.
So instead of the storyline, instead of him going to kill family members, he goes back to his old house. But it's at the same time college students are filming an internet reality TV show for Halloween.
It's 2002. They're basically doing what we would have today, a stream. They're doing a stream in the house, the Michael Myers house.
Yes. So you've got Busta Rhymes, who is the
producer.
He's a producer, the writer. He is the main guy. And I want to say Tara Banks.
Yeah, she's there because here in the knife. I still can't believe they got her on the front cover, because to me that it's almost like false advertising. Because when we say she's only in it for a little bit, she's literally in it for maybe the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, but they did it with the Scream, didn't they? The main person on the Scream cover is Drew Barrymore, and she was literally in it for the first scene of the first part of the film.
Yeah.
But they made out she was one of the main characters.
Yeah.
But it's a good twist. So
it was killing her off was less of a cop-out than they did with the whole, she died off screen in a car crash. It was less of a cop-out there because they actually made the effort to bring her in and go, right, we are going to kill you off. But at the same time, it's kind of like, why make her look so strong and stuff then by, she's not taking a medication. She's pretending she is, but she's hiding it
and she's also created
she's created a trap and all that. Yeah. They could have gone down the route of she is in a insane institution, but somehow Michael gets in and actually kills her, rather than her trapping Michael and then him tricking her and killing her that way.
They probably did it for the thingy. Oh, I forgot to mention the budget for Halloween H2O. Budget for Halloween H2O was 17 million. In the US, the revenue was 55 million, and in everywhere else in the world it was 20. So in total, they raised 75 mil for that one film. So that, if you add on inflation, that was probably less than Halloween, but more than the others. So Halloween H2O, that's where you start seeing it thingy. Okay, so back to Halloween Resurrection. So yeah, you've got new cast, you've got a new storyline, you've got the murders were good. I liked.
Was a bit where a guy gets his neck broken between a stair banister, which I thought was pretty creative. That was kind of cool.
Another guy was killed by the tripod of the camera.
Yeah, there was a guy who was knife nailed to a door and became part of the door, like a decoration on the door.
So there was cool deaths.
Yeah.
Did I like the film? No.
No,
Or is it a guilty pleasure? No. Could they have done without the film? Yes.
yeah, I didn't like the... I mean, it's kind of like the MTV era type thing, innit? The reality TV was becoming a thing. So I get why they did the whole... I can see it happening in real life. You know, we'll send someone into
a haunted
house, record, and just, you know, see what happens, see what they come across. You wouldn't be expecting the actual killer to still be there, but, you know, he is. So, yeah.
I think for the time, it was probably cool. But to me, it's not Freddy. It's not Freddy. I'm right. To me, it's not Michael Myers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just goes way off.
I think Halloween Resurrection, we're probably looking more towards the 10, 11, 12 or 13.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the worst, though.
Their budget was 30 mil and they raised in total in US worldwide, they'd raised 37.6 million.
Mm.
So that's a lot less than Halloween H2O.
Yeah. With this one, I'm leaning more towards it being a 10.
Yeah.
Actually, because we've got some space up here, I'm thinking maybe even like a 7. Either 5 or... I think this might be our 5 or our 7.
Yeah.
What do you think? Should we go with 5?
Let's go with 7 and then we can move it if we need to.
Okay.
And I think we're going to get to the reasons why we are leaving the bottom open.
Okay, so this is where we enter another new timeline.
So we don't even enter a timeline. We enter a completely new series.
A reboot.
We enter a remake world.
No, it's a reboot.
A reboot is what you call it now, but back then it was just called a remake.
Yeah, and it's a very gimmicky reboot, so, I think. Rob Zombie.
These are the Rob Zombie remakes.
Yeah, so it's this one into
Halloween 2, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just called Halloween, a Rob Zombie film.
Yeah. Okay.
So they do...
they do the same kind of thing.
The thing I don't like about the Rob Zombie films is they try to explain a lot about why Michael is...
They try to make him a victim in a way.
And this happens a fucking shit ton with villain. It's what I said earlier, and it makes me angry. There is no pure evil anymore, according to media. It's always normal person who has had something happen to them to make them evil. Bad experience, beaten up by their dad, or abused, or bullied, or warped or brainwashed by something else to becoming evil. That's not as scary to me as, you know, that guy's just massacred a bunch of people. Why has he done it? Was he bullied? No. Did he come from a bad family? No. Okay, then why did he do it? Don't know. He just did. That to me is more scary than guy was bullied growing up. He was constantly beaten up by his father and abused, and he just lashed out one day and liked taking back some of that power, so he decided to take it out on everyone else. To me, that's less scary.
See, this is why I love Scream. Because Billy Loomis is your perfect serial killer. He says, fuck motives. You don't need a motive. He does have a motive, but you don't... Like, you find out that Sydney's mum was fucking his dad. But the way he gets Stu reeled in, because Stu didn't even know that, was there is no motive. And his famous line from Scream is, because everyone around the 90s started blaming films. And the famous line is, movies don't create psychos, movies make psychos more creative. And he's basically saying that you can't explain psychos.
Well, it happens now, doesn't it? As soon as there's a massacre somewhere. Why? You know, we start looking for clues. We go to their houses, we raid their bedrooms, we try and find a connection to, you know, what have they been consuming? Were they into Doom, the video game? Were they into horror movies? Were they religious? What is it that's done this?
See, I like my murder documentaries. I like true crime, but it's because you'll never know why.
What
you never know what's going in the head, and trying to psychoanalyze that is never going to help anything, because they could tell you whatever you want to hear. You will never fully understand the real truth. True psychopaths do it for pleasure.
Well, the reason I don't particularly like, and we're going to just fucking bash these films, but the reason I don't like it is, one, it's not as scary when you know why somebody has done it, because again, like you say, it kind of almost turns them into the victim. And I don't like when people try and make me feel sorry for killers.
I don't like when they try and bring mental health into people being evil, because not every mental health person is evil.
Here's why, right? Here's why I don't like it. So we'll talk about the Rob Zombie one, why Michael Myers is the way he is. He is bullied at school.
Yep.
He is berated by, I guess it's his stepdad, not his actual dad.
His mum's boyfriend, yeah.
Yeah, he's also berated by his sister at the time. And the only one he loves is his little sister, which turns into Laurie.
Yeah.
Right. So he talks as well, which is something we haven't seen up till now. But
it takes away everything as well, because Dr. Loomis says he doesn't speak at all. He's not uttered one word since the murder.
Yeah, and that does happen in this. He just makes stupid grunting noises, but he doesn't speak. But the thing is, you've now got this personality of who he was before the murders.
See,
and to me, it's kind of like, okay, but it makes him weak. Here's why. And it makes him less scary, because yes, he was bullied at school. Yes, he was bullied by his stepdad, and it's turned him into this killer. But I can find you someone who's been through that exact same shit who didn't turn into a killer. So who's really stronger? Doesn't that make Michael Myers weaker than this other person I've found who went through all this stuff and came out a better person? To me, it's kind of like, your boy isn't scary now.
No, he's just a normal person.
I know that name calling affected him that badly that it turned him into this. So I ain't scared of that.
The thing is, you can't, I think, in the original, he didn't utter a word. You could tell he was Dr. Loomis could tell that he was soulless just by looking in his eyes and saw nothing but black. In this one, Dr. Loomis becomes his friend.
Yeah.
And Michael is pretending he can't remember the murders. He's saying, are they okay? I didn't kill anyone.
Yeah.
Are they okay?
He's doing the whole, like, I blacked out, I don't know.
But he didn't. And you know he didn't, because as soon as he escapes, he goes straight to his house and gets under the floorboards for the knife he killed his sister with.
Yeah, and it's... They're almost trying to do like a killer kids type thing with him. You know, a kid pushed too far became like because one of the first people he kills is his bully.
Yes, and that doesn't even exist in the other one. No. But he kills 4 people in one day.
Yeah.
He kills his bully.
Then he kills his...
Then he goes home, kills his
sister,
his boyfriend, his mum's boyfriend first.
Yeah.
Then kills his sister's boyfriend. And then his sister. And then he gets locked up.
Yeah. And you got to remember that in the original, the big thing that made him like a monster to Haddonfield was he killed his sister.
Yeah, and it was just only his sister.
He was the monster who killed his sister. In this one, he's killed 4 people.
How the fuck could a kid that age kill 4 people on one day?
But not only that, in the original, he killed 1 person. And
he was 6 years old.
Yeah, but he killed 1 person, his sister, and Loomis deemed him a monster. In this one, he's killed 4 people and Loomis has befriended him.
But he also deems him a monster in his books.
Yeah.
So he's not the same character.
Loomis is
not the same character. He's not likable. He is not, like, he sympathises with him.
Loomis is not...
He's two-faced. He says to Michael at one point, this is my last visit. You haven't spoken for 15 years. This is my last visit. My marriage hasn't even lasted as long as as this. And Michael, you're my only friend. That's pathetic.
Is this the one where Loomis has a book and he's going on talk shows and stuff?
That's what I mean. He's telling Michael is his only friend, but then in the real world, is writing a book on how evil Michael is and how...
But this is what I'm saying.
He's a monster and he's got no soul and he hasn't spoken.
In the original timeline, Loomis is dedicated to catching Michael or killing Michael. That's his obsession. He doesn't think about anything else, to the point where he puts Jamie in danger.
Yeah.
Just to attempt to catch Michael.
Well, he loses his job, doesn't he? In the second film, there was like...
Yeah.
It's on the same night everything happens, but they're basically saying you need to back down. Michael is no longer your issue.
Yeah.
And he's like, this guy is a monster. He needs to be stopped. And nobody would listen to him.
No, but he was proven right time and time again.
Yeah.
But in the Rob Zombie...
It's just...
In the Rob Zombie one, Loomis is attention-seeking. He wants to be famous. He wants to be respected for the work he's done with Michael Myers. He gets Weird Al Yankovic, takes the piss out of him, says something like, it's quite funny actually, when we're talking about Michael Myers, are we talking about the Austin Powers one? Or
Yes.
And that's enough for him to kind of afterwards go, I've never been so embarrassed in all my life. It's like,
get a grip.
The original Loomis wouldn't even be on a TV show.
It wouldn't.
Talking about Michael Myers.
And if he was on a TV show talking about Michael Myers, it's about how evil he was and how much he needs to catch him.
Yeah.
Or how much damage is done. This guy didn't give a shit. He wanted to get famous.
Yeah.
They tarnished Halloween. This film was nothing like the original. It didn't have the same respect. It didn't have the same horror. It didn't have the same slasher vibes. It was...
They turned Michael Myers into more sort of like a trailer park trash type thing.
But he wasn't like that in the original film.
No, he came from what looked like quite a respectable family, nice big house and stuff.
It was like this was a piss take.
I don't think it was a piss take. I think, to me, and I said this when we watched it, it felt to me like Rob Zombie really wanted to make Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but didn't get the rights to it and instead got the rights to Halloween. And I say that because Michael Myers' family is his mum's a stripper. His stepdad is some, like, drunk... abusive, nasty...
Fucking eyeing up the sister.
His stepdaughter. Michael's getting bullied at school by kids that
his
saying...
His sister belittles him and calls him names and tells him he's pathetic all the time.
Yeah.
And then when she got asked to go out trick-or-treating with him, she's like, you're too old for that, and then goes upstairs and screws a boyfriend.
Yeah.
It just... And you don't even know how old Michael is supposed to be in this, because he is 6.
No, he looks 13,
9,
14.
10?
No,
I'd say he's 13, 14. I don't think he's a teenager.
His bullies definitely are.
Yeah, his bullies are. I don't think he is.
Well, I think
he might be 11. He might be...
Thing is, even...
I don't know how schools work in America. I'm not going to...
Even looking at the man, because I don't like that we see Michael Myers' face as well. I know we see him in the original as a kid when they take the clown mask off.
We see him once as well when Laurie pulls it off when they're struggling.
But it's kind of a bit dark. No?
But it's literally like Flash.
Yeah. But in this one, you see his face. He's got the long hair. He just looks like Leatherface to me. When he's not wearing the mask.
They've tried to modernise it, but horror that you don't fuck with the classic. They tried it with Freddy. They tried it with Nightmare on Elm Street, and they fucked up royally on that one as well, but we'll talk about that when we watch the films.
I hate prequel films where they try and explain why the killer is a killer.
Yes.
I don't care, honestly. I don't care about this normal person's journey to becoming a psychopath.
But the thing is as well, even like I said, with Billy Loomis on screen, you find out towards the end. You don't sit there and analyse it for the first hour of the fucking film. It's boring.
But the thing is as well, I mean, and it's reflected in some of the modern day stories that we have. I keep bringing up creepypasta, but if you look at any, like Jeff the Killer, fucking Clockwork, what else is there? Jane the Killer, any of these The Killer stories, the stories are always the same. Young kid, usually, 10, 11, 12, either gets beaten up and bullied, belittled, or raped, and then turns into like a Michael Myers killer.
But the thing is,
all it says
they don't have to go through something traumatic to become a killer.
It's scarier if they haven't been through something
traumatic.
Put it this way, out of like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho,
pure Psycho,
and this version of Michael Myers, I'm more frightened of Patrick Bateman.
Yeah,
because
he's normal.
He's
normal.
Blends in. He blends in. He doesn't need to hide, in an old abandoned house that he grew up in.
I guess
He's in New York. He's doing his job.
The thing is, I get that they can't do that with Michael Myers because the whole point is he killed his sister at the age of 6.
Yeah.
That's the original point. They can't do the same thing with Michael Myers, but they can just leave it as that. There's no court. There's no fucking... His mother was a stripper. I can't. This film, I just can't. It's just bullshit.
All it does, we're so far separated from the cult aspect and the paranormal side of it.
Fuck with an original.
The thing is, we're so far separated from the paranormal cult side of it now that we're back to Michael is just a man. He's just a man that you can kill, but because he's so stocky, it makes sense that you can stab him, you can shoot him, you can hit him with stuff and he just gets back up. But he's not invincible, right? And we now know as well that you talking about his mum's sucky dick is enough to frustrate him. So that's not scary to me. That's not a monster. That's a man. And men can be killed, So it's... Yeah. And again, that we thought that the Michael Myers from the original 1 and 2 was just a man. That's fine, right? But he never spoke. You never knew why he
was scarier because you didn't know.
There was mystery to him. And the way Loomis was selling it as well, of he's just a monster.
He's just pure evil.
There's no soul there. Whereas in this one, Loomis is more interested in making money and being respected.
I think they tried to modernize it, but I don't want a film to be modernized. I want a film to have a good storyline, but I don't want a modern storyline. I just want a storyline that I can watch and go, oh my God, that's fucked up.
But when did this come out? When did the Rob Zombie Halloween?
2007.
2007. So I would have been 14. So I would have been at the point where a new horror film coming out, like this is a remake. So if you are going to get interested in the Halloween series, now's a good time to jump in because it's a reboot. You might take your girlfriend to the cinema to see it or something if it's appropriate age range or whatever. Or you might go with your mum or your dad if it's like a 12A or something. I would be upset if this was somebody's first experience with the Halloween franchise because...
I would be even more upset that if this is someone's first Halloween experience and they enjoyed it.
I mean, if you enjoy it, but I feel like if you kind of just start with that and then go, right, well, I've seen it now, so I don't need to watch any of these.
Then you're missing the classics.
Yeah, but also you're missing out on this really fucked up journey of it being about a kid, then a cult, then a fucking the daughter of the original and all that stuff. So
I think it just...
What did you think of, while we're talking about this, because we haven't spoke about Laurie, was she in this one or did she pop up in the second?
Laurie is in this one. So after the hour of whatever of them talking about of Michael being a child, he escapes and but you actually see how he escapes. And I said, well, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I can say. Okay, that would have been good in the original because to me, you don't just find loads of randoms walking. And the way he escapes was quite cool. I enjoyed that. That's about the only thing I enjoyed in that film. And she is this weird teenager that makes inappropriate sex jokes to her adopted mother.
She's nothing like Laurie from the original.
No, she's not.
She's a lot younger as well, I think.
No, she's 17.
She don't look it.
Yeah, but Laurie looks a bit older.
Well, maybe that's...
The timeline's still the same,
yeah,
which makes no sense to me because that kid is not 6.
No.
But it's still 15 years later, and that baby... Well, no, that baby is 15 years after the mum committed suicide. So maybe the baby was 2. So she'd have been... Well, she's 16, 17. But she's not Laurie. She does not play Laurie well. The whole point of Laurie is that she is a very innocent...
She's almost...
loving, kind character. Yeah, she smokes a bit of weed, but she's nice.
Yeah.
This Laurie was standoffish with the child that she babysat, made fun of the child she babysat, made sexual remarks to her mother with a bagel. That was so out of character that it did not
I remember
fit.
seeing that and thinking, what the fuck? That was weird. Weird thing to say to your mum.
She, with the friends, some parts of the way she is with the friends makes her more sexual than what she actually is. With Laurie in 1978, she played a virgin and she played it well. This Laurie is supposed to be a virgin and she didn't act like one. It just... Everything about this film was wrong.
Yeah.
And the fact that he kidnaps her, so instead of trying to kill her, he actually kidnaps her in attempt to explain that they're related and he doesn't want to harm her.
Yeah, which completely goes against what happens later. We commented on the camera work.
I hate it
as well. They did a lot
camera.
They did a lot of this sort of like shaky cam.
I can't
during action.
That. But I'm also one of those that paranormal activity and like those kind of films aren't my style. I prefer slasher horror films. I watch them and they're okay.
No, when we say like shaky cam, I don't mean like handheld cam. I don't mean like a character is holding.
It kind of felt like that though.
Yeah, it
was cheaply made.
It was very, and I said it while we were watching it. It was very WWE. Like the cameraman is running around backstage, following the wrestlers while they're fighting, and spinning around and zooming in and doing during the action scenes, and it's disorientating. And I get that. I get the technique is to try and show a struggle. It's to show there's a lot of shit happening at once, but it's very frustrating as a viewer because I want to know what is going on.
Yeah.
I want to see what's happening. And it's annoying, especially comparing it to the other films where it's steady shots showing the action happening. And yes, there's close-ups, but you can see, oh, he's just been stabbed. Oh, he's just punched her. Or she's punched him. Or, she's picked up a bit of wood off the floor. In this, it was very much like the struggle begins, shit's happening, stuff flying, But
the camera's going with it. Yeah. You can't see anything.
You can't really tell what's going on. There's a couple of people struggling, but who's fighting who's winning, I can't tell.
It wasn't too bad on this one.
It's the second one, I think, that's a bit worse. But...
So on this one, so the budget was 15 million.
All right.
15 million. In total around the world, they made 80.4 million. Maybe it was a hype because it was a remake.
Well, it's got a well-known personality attached as the director in Rob Zombie as well.
Right. So let's see. So 70 mil dollars in.
I mean, looking
78 worth today.
Looking at that DVD cover there.
So if Halloween came out now, like the first Halloween, if that came out now, the 70 million it made would have made 348 million.
Looking at that DVD cover there, that's Michael, isn't it? Standing there.
Yes.
And if you look at his silhouette, that doesn't scream Michael Myers to me. That screams more like Leatherface, you know, like a monster, like a noisy monster bashing around the place. It doesn't scream Michael Myers to me, who's very much sort of covert, hiding, you know, appearing out of nowhere and then disappearing in the blink of an eye.
No, you can't. It's not the same.
No. To me, that looks more like, like Leatherface. Like,
yeah, is there to kill.
Noisy, smashing the house apart, you know, busting through.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
So the budget was 15 mil, and they made 80.6 mil, which today would be 125 mil. So they didn't make that much. So if you go from the 75 mil that Halloween H2O made in 1998, the Halloween H2O made more than that film did. That made just under 150 mil.
Yeah.
So, because we've got to take inflation in account for it. And the fact that if it was today's standards, the first film made 380 million, 348 million, sorry, it's a massive difference. And I think people could tell that it wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't have the same effect, and I think they just went so far downhill with it. But at the end of the film, after Chrissy kidnaps her, tries to make her understand that they're siblings, she fights back, gets away, and then Loomis shoots him in the head in the swimming pool.
Yeah, there's something that happens in the film that really pisses me off, and it's really out of character for Laurie as well. When she finds out that she's related to Michael Myers, she decides, I want to go and party and get drunk. Do you remember that? And she gets really drunk and she's like begging her mates, oh, can we go out and find a Halloween party? I want to get drunk and do this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And it's like, shut the fuck up.
It just wasn't.
That's not the reaction that anyone would have. It's definitely not the reaction that Laurie would have.
It just wasn't good.
It wasn't.
And let's wrap. I think that's 12.
Yeah. In fact, I would argue it's probably the worst.
No.
Because
I think that's 12. And the reason why is because Halloween 2, 2009, is worse. That to me is 13.
I don't know. What bugs me about it is the whole trying to explain away Michael Myers. That, to me, it doesn't add to it. It makes it worse. The other films don't really tend to try and do that. So
okay, I'll give you that.
To me, that's
it diminishes who Michael Myers is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And what they've done to Laurie as well, like I just explained, they've turned her into like a ditzy, stupid schoolgirl, like same as everyone else. Like,
see, in the original, Laurie was smart.
She was always carrying books around and shit.
She's a smart girl.
Yeah. And in this one, like, oh, I'm related to a killer. Better go get drunk. What? But not even like, oh, get drunk, yeah, but in my own kitchen while I think about what's happened. It's like, no, I'm going to go out, sleep around, drink, do drugs, party on, and all that shit.
Isn't that in the next film, though?
I don't fucking know. But
she becomes her trailer trash family.
yeah, which is
It's not
of character, like.
It's not who Laurie is.
It's in character for this Laurie, yeah.
But this is not what people want to watch.
But this Laurie is not worth having because she is supposed to parallel, having been raised by a nice family, she's supposed to be the opposite of what Michael had. He got bullied, she didn't. He had a shit life, she didn't. He is what she would have turned into had she stayed with that family. That I think that's supposed to be the insinuation. So for her to then revert to, I'm going to get drunk and do mad shit because I'm related to a killer, that's a stupid reason to get drunk, for one thing.
Yeah.
Like somebody came to me and said, oh, did you realise, Mark, that you've got a famous serial killer brother? I'd go, oh, okay, that's interesting to know. You know, I'd like to know more about that. And about, you know, I wouldn't. Oh, and also he killed your other sister, and this mad shit happened. I'd be like, you know what I'm not gonna do? Go to a fucking Halloween party and get pissed.
Yeah. So yeah, 13. I agree.
The more I think about that film, and the more I dislike it. I think it's a disservice to
Halloween.
Yeah, and definitely to the characters.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Halloween 2.
Yeah, just one last point on that as well. Are there any likable characters in that?
No.
No. There you go. They've turned previously likable characters like Loomis
and Laurie
into characters that you kind of want to see die.
Yeah.
But the problem is with films, you need at least one that you can relate to. And I think you're right in the way that maybe they were kind of pointing you towards, well, Michael is the victim a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe relate to Michael a little bit, but then it's like, but he's going around stabbing people. Can't relate to that, you know?
I just want to watch a slash.
We've all been called names. You know, we've all had people do a yo mama joke on us. I haven't then gone out and massacred a bunch of people, you know? Okay, Halloween 2.
So Halloween 2, the sequel remake. Halloween 2, 2009.
Again, by Rob Zombie.
Again, shit film. This one's even worse in the way that the camera was more jiggly. The Laurie turned into a rock emo chick, which is fine. I've got nothing against rock emo chick. I love the rock style. I just can't pull it off. But she turns into a dick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I've never seen this film the whole way through because every time I watch it, I fall asleep.
You fell asleep when we were watching it. Yeah.
I can't watch it. I get bored. And then the screaming annoys me. It's just a really bad film.
Mm.
I've never watched this film the whole way through, ever. I always fall asleep on this film.
So it's going to be quite low down for you then.
That's why I said this was going to be 13.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that, actually. I think this is probably going to be 13 then, and we'll have to move Halloween 1 up. Because I think getting so bored that you don't technically finish it is probably worse than finishing it and not liking it.
Never watched this film.
So we'll move this one.
Can't watch it. I've never watched it all the way through. I've always fell asleep.
Yeah.
And if I like film, I never fall asleep, and you know that.
Yeah.
But I'm like it. Like, I love Harry Potter and I love the Twilight movies, but the first 3 Harry Potters, I always fall asleep to. But I can watch the others. And the first Twilight, I always fall asleep to, but I love the others.
Just so you know as well, I don't think it's in the order we have here where we've done from best to worst, but you can view community ranking afterwards. So I think as like maybe a bonus video to this,
yeah,
we'll have a look and see how closely our opinion of
matched other people's
match with the communities. Okay.
So what's your opinion on this? Because I can't form opinions because I fall asleep.
I didn't like it. I can see why they stopped. I can see why Rob Zombie was not called back to do a third, like a remake of Resurrection or H2O or anything like that, because both these films combined try to realistically explain everything that happens in the first two Halloween films. They try to, but not. They try to explain to you psychologically why someone might do the things they do, and it's boring. I'm bored of it. At this time, when was it? 2009?
Yeah.
The second one and the first one, 2007. Around that time, didn't Dark Knight come out as well with the Joker?
Yeah. No, that was 2007, 2008, because I was pregnant with...
Yeah, but the thing is, this was a very frustrating period of time for me, because even back then, I was like, I don't care. I don't care if the Joker's dad abused him. You didn't need to make his smile actual scars, from abuse. You don't have to do any of that. I don't care if the villain had a sad time growing up and then turned into the villain. I just care about what they're doing now. I don't really care. Right? Unless you're going to show me all that and make the film about that, that's fine. But I don't want you to quickly throw that in there in the way that Halloween 1 did, where it's basically the events of Halloween 1 with some elements of what I would call like Halloween 0, which is the prequel. Yeah. What happened to Michael Myers to make him this way? What was a 2-minute scene in the original Halloween 1 is now like a good third of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it. You've given this a lot of thought. It does diminish from the mysteriousness of that character, though. And even the things like The Dark Knight, where they're going, well, did the Joker's dad abuse him? Here's all the reasons why we think that actually the Joker made that story up. Why? But because he's a psychological clown. It's like, okay, well, why? Because I don't like him anymore as a character because of that.
See, I liked The Dark Knight, and I liked Heath Ledger's Joker. He's my favourite. Because he never actually admits why he is the way he is. He makes up the story every time.
Yeah, but this is the thing. And I know they'll go, well, it's because he's a psychopath or whatever. It's like, okay, but why does that character have to be this way? Why couldn't you made a new character? Because the thing that, I mean, the Joker's had so many fucking backstories anyway. Like, he was a comedian.
I think that's why they took the piss in the Dark Knight. Because they were saying all of this stuff.
Yeah,
like,
but with this...
Can you truly find out who he is?
But with Michael Myers, it's one canon story. It's not like there's a comic book version of Michael Myers, then there's a film version, then there's a video game version. Then it's like, no, this is the story of Michael Myers is he killed his sister. That's present in all of them.
Yeah.
He's also after his younger sister in all of them. Right. In all of them, he wears the mask. In all of them, he doesn't talk, except for this one where he does talk before, and then for brief periods when he's not wearing the mask after. It bores me. I'm not interested in why people do the things they do. I'm only interested in the things they do.
Yeah.
Right? Because otherwise, like I say, we're justifying murder.
Okay, so the budget for this one, again, was 15 million. In the box office, it made 39.4 million, which if it was released back in the day, it would have been lower than, it would have been about 11 million. So we're looking like this is par and par with Halloween 5 with how much people liked it.
Where did we put Halloween 5?
But Halloween 5 was a better storyline.
Yeah, I think it was.
What I'm saying is in the box office, what you've got to remember as well is in the box office, they spent 5 mil on Halloween 5 and it made 11.6 mil. So it made just over double. They spent 15 mil on this film and it made just over double.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it.
No. Right, okay. So I think we've bashed these two films enough. Let's talk about the third and final
timeline. Okay. So again, we start off with Halloween 1 and 2, and then we go back to Halloween 2018.
What?
Because it's called Halloween.
Yeah, so this one here. So this is what's confusing for me, right? Because when did Halloween, this one, come out?
2018.
2018, right. So, and this one was 2008, was it? Seven. So 11 years later. Now, to me, for some reason, I didn't watch the Rob Zombie Halloween until I got with you.
Yeah.
Which it means from sort of 2018 onwards, right? So I hadn't seen this one, and I also hadn't seen this one in 2018. So it was confusing for me when
there's two Halloween.
When this was being advertised, because to me, this was still fresh.
Yeah.
So to me, there was Halloween and there was Halloween, both of which I haven't seen. But then also, because you got to remember,
Halloween.
There's also Halloween. So I know this one came first. You can just tell by the DVD cover. What I didn't understand was why there's a remake and then a remake. So is it a remake of that? Is it a remake of the remake? Or is it a remake of the original? Is it a reboot?
Neither. It's neither. Now you've watched it.
No, I've watched it.
It's neither. So Halloween 2018 is a direct sequel from the original two films.
So it's Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween. So this one.
Let's not try and get that to make sense.
No, so let's talk about this timeline then. So Halloween here, the original, takes place.
Yep.
Halloween 2 takes place, kind of like the H2O resurrection timeline.
Yeah.
But then that branches off into what we've got here.
Which is the final
films.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Halloween, we leave off Michael Myers doesn't die at the end of Halloween 2. He goes back into Smith's Grove Sanitarium and he spends the next 4 years there. So this is 40 years later.
So 40 years without any interaction between Michael Myers and his sister.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's funny about this is obviously Halloween H2O, they're making a big deal about it being 20 years later. This is 40.
And they haven't called it Halloween H40.
Yeah, but look at this. It's like plastered all over the branded H2O 20 years later. This summer, well, that's nothing to do with it, but like H2O, they're making a big deal about the amount of time. And then with this one, it's just in the corner, Halloween. That's it. No, so you can kind of see how me looking at it, as someone who hadn't watched any Halloween film or took any interest in Michael Myers or anything for years, how I was like, why are they remaking a remake so soon? Either like the last one was so bad that they're trying again, or I don't know, is everybody really crying out for more Michael Myers films? Because to me, that title screams remake.
Yeah.
It doesn't scream sequel to Halloween 2.
I don't know why they called it Halloween.
No, I'm not, especially when the next one isn't called Halloween 2 or Halloween 3. They've got I mean, looking at the title there, it looks like that the third one's just called Ends.
Okay.
And then this Halloween below isn't that part of the title. That's telling you when the film comes out.
So we find out through the film that Halloween, that Michael is being transferred from a fully secure mental hospital to another hospital.
Yeah.
He's getting... There's a doctor that keeps on saying, no, don't do it. He will escape. Don't do it. And then we move on to Laurie. Laurie, turns out, has a daughter named Karen.
So this is a third child that she's got.
And no, this is her only child.
No, I'm saying like...
Yes.
So she's got so many different children in different timelines.
And Karen has a daughter called Alison.
The dads are never around, by the way.
Yeah. So it sounds... So in this film, from what you could get, Laurie was a shit mum. She trained Karen as a warrior. Warrior.
To constantly be on the lookout.
To constantly be on the guard for Michael Myers. She was taken away by social services.
Thing is, if it's 40 years, you got to remember, if in this timeline, the only things that have happened in Halloween 1 and 2, which took place on the same night.
A lot happened.
A lot happened, yeah, but it's been 40 years since Michael Myers had done anything to her. So I kind of get how, if you're her daughter,
you think she's crazy.
You'd be like, I mean,
let it go.
How old would you say her daughter is?
See, her daughter looks like she was like...
No, as an adult.
Late 30s.
Late 30s. So she's pretty much started thinking about training her daughter like maybe less than 5 years after this stuff's happening to her.
No, that was age of 3.
No, I'm saying like, okay, I've got a daughter now. Here's the plan of what I'm going to do when she's old enough. And then she starts, because didn't she say something about I learned how to use a gun at age 7 or something? Yeah. So you're looking at like
10 years.
About 10 years after,
yeah,
after the stuff with Michael Myers happened.
Which is kind of realistic. You'd want your daughter to stop protecting herself, because having a kid will take you back to the babysitting times, and that's when she started getting. That's when it all happened.
Yeah,
and it's only 10 years. 10 years is not a long time.
Yeah, but once you get to kind of 40
is a bit. It's a bit long.
She kind of does explain that she knows.
She knows he's going to come back.
Because she knows the release date and everything.
Well, it wasn't. He would never be released, but it was the
transportation date.
Yeah, she knew the transportation date. She knew that
something might happen.
Something might happen. But we get this English couple that are book writers, reporters, and podcasters.
Yeah.
They meet with Michael Myers.
I mean, to be fair, realistic. When did this one come out? 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is around the time where people sort of started getting this boner for true crime, like true crime podcasts. So it's kind of like, yeah, realistically, somebody with the budget, you can see maybe if they've got connections in the insane asylum going, can you kind of wangle this so I can get maybe like 30-minute...
But they would never have let him put that mask in.
No, that would... Well...
But the thing is, they took the mask in, Michael didn't respond, but the rest of them did, which will take you back to Halloween 3. That was nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like when they show him the mask and everything, the other inmates react.
Yeah,
and it's like a storm starts rolling in, and so it's kind of okay. We're going back to the paranormal shit now. It's like you've awakened this demon by showing Michael Myers the mask, but the other inmates no. because they're all like now cowering and they all start screaming at the sky and shit. So it's like
the crazy girl.
Yeah, I know
he just
doing it for effect, but what I'm thinking is like, I'd be interested to see the script, because how would you explain? Because it's kind of like showing. It's kind of like showing Ted Bundy, one of the things that he used to kill someone. Like, you wouldn't see like everybody else in the prison going like, whoa, oh shit, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. It just...
the lights wouldn't start flickering and stuff, you know what I mean?
So he escapes because
of course
the van crashes and he kills a child.
Yeah. I mean, has he killed kids before? I can't remember, actually.
This is the first time he killed a child, because it actually said, in one of the films, it actually commented saying, "Oh, I'm a kid.
Yeah,
He won't kill me."
Him kill kids.
That was Halloween Ends, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So this is the first time he actually kills a kid, because the kid is going across town with his dad.
They've been hunting, and the kid's like,
I'd rather be at dance class.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to dance class than hunt animals. To be frank, going, I ain't gonna lie.
He does kill a child. Who gets shot on the bus? The kid accidentally shoots. Is it this
doctor? One it.
Yeah, the doctor's like, don't sign. And he gets shot by the kid, who's obviously a bit trigger happy.
Yeah.
And then the kid gets killed by Michael Myers.
Yeah. And then, like, so Laurie is hidden away, and she's made herself, like, she's secured herself. She's got security cameras everywhere. She's got gates that you can't get on unless she opens them.
It reminds me of Final Destination 2.
But no, because Claire goes into a mental house, doesn't she? It's the last one. It's the front.
The one.
It's the Bloodline. It's the last one we watched.
I swear there's one before then where they've like they've made their house completely safe. There's no knives, there's no glass, there's no wood. Everything's like padded. There's like the water line is something or other, so it can't get poisoned. And
I thought that was just the last one.
No,
Claire hands herself into a asylum in a mental health clinic, which gets locked in a padded room.
It's not her I'm thinking of. There's somebody else, and I'm sure, because I remember saying to you, surely at some point they'd have needed to leave for, like, to get food, to get supplies. Or even...
They might have to rewatch all of those.
Yeah.
Because the only one I can think of is the Bloodlines that we just watched.
But yeah, essentially she's turned her house into 4 fucking knocks.
Which can't blame her.
Yeah.
If you're constantly going to live on paranoia, you might as well fucking be prepared.
Mm.
So she has a very, very strained relationship with the daughter, which is... it's going to happen.
The daughter basically says that, like,
she's mentored.
Yeah, their mum's in...
She hasn't had a childhood.
She hasn't had a childhood because she's constantly been doomsday prepping for the time where this Michael Myers, who she's never seen or met or experienced, is going to show up and kill her. But I guess in her eyes, especially as an adult, it's been like 40 years and nothing has happened.
Yeah.
So... you know, you can't shut yourself away for 40 years in the way that Jamie Lee Curtis's character has.
So there's basically the old family drama within this film. Michael escapes, he goes after Laurie, he goes after her family. Alison's friends gets killed. A dad gets killed. And Laurie's daughter actually, like, starts believing her mum, and they fight Michael together, blah blah blah, and the trio ultimately trap him in a house and set the house on fire. that's how that ends. I don't know where to begin with this film. I don't like it.
Right. Why don't you like it?
Because they focused too much around family, and I don't think Laurie would have been that kind of mother.
You don't think that she'd have been, like, prepping her daughter?
No. And the reason why I don't is because I believe her character would have been more like the character in Halloween H2O, where she's strong, but she loves her child. And she would have brought up her child knowing about Michael Myers, but not making that the centre of everything. The only time she has flashbacks and everything is Halloween.
I don't know, because we got very, very subtle flashes of that in Halloween Resurrection. The fact that she was plotting to trap Michael.
Yeah, she had it in her. I'm not saying she doesn't have it in her, but I'm saying she has it in her. But I don't think she would have raised a child the way they're saying that she would have raised a child. I don't think she would have had a child took away from her. I don't think she would have treated her child with no motherly love or maternal instinct. I don't think she would have.
Not the smartest thing would be to do, if you know that that's the kind of mother you're going to turn into, or that there's this killer that's after you and your family. Wouldn't you just not have children? So that you're not constantly having to look over not only your own shoulder, but somebody else's as well.
I think, yeah, but that's just going through a whole different route, though, isn't it? Let's not talk about that.
Well, no, if it's going down the whole, everyone deserves to have a child and whatever, but you're not going to experience any of the children's stuff if you're having to train them to be a thingy. You know, take them to the park and stuff.
But again, I don't think Laurie would have been that kind of character. I think her character would have been a loving maternal character who not trained them, but taught them self-defense, took them to karate classes, took them to boxing, taught them to be strong, but not ruin their life.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being a hard-ass mother that didn't give a shit about a child to the point where social services took them away, to being a mother that cared and wanted them to protect themselves, so they took them to kick boxing, karate. But do you know what I mean? There's a difference between maternal instinct and giving everything up. And I don't think she's a character to give everything up for Michael Myers. But she did. In this film, she did. And it made no sense.
Yeah.
They ruined her as a mother. They ruined her character. And I don't like it.
I definitely prefer this film to the Rob Zombie one.
Oh yes, definitely prefer it to the Rob Zombie one. And I'm glad Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
Yeah, it's good that she's back, because I think the Halloween Resurrection ending
wasn't...
Well, not even the ending, the ending for her...
It wasn't justified.
Was rushed.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But the thing is, they could have...
Here's a way to look at it about how insane this fucking split timeline thing is, right? The Laurie that did the dirty joke to her mum in Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and stuff, she's supposed to turn into this Laurie.
She wouldn't have turned into this.
Those two characters are so...
I don't think they did, because in Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie 2009 one, it says that they was going to turn Laurie into Michael Myers in that one. It said that the final scene suggests that she has taken on her brother's psychosis and she dons his mask and is committed to an asylum, hallucinating her mother walking with a white horse. In the director's cut, Michael and Laurie are both gone down by the police. So, no, I think they were going to send Laurie insane in that one anyway. I think he tried to do a new thing and...
Yeah, good job.
Bitch, don't fuck with the original. Stop it.
Yeah.
But this one, they tried to go back to what it was, but there was a way of keeping the original story and saying, like, Laurie got stabbed in Halloween Resurrection, but she could have survived that. Michael survived it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just do that? And then bring it back to Josh, then bring it back and Josh Hartnett has moved on, but you've got Karen, and Karen could have been Jamie put up for adoption. Do you know what I mean? There's ways to
connect it
all. And they missed that opportunity and made her into a character that I don't believe she would have become.
Yeah. So, I mean, this one then, this sort of weird reboot sequel type thing,
Halloween.
Where would you put that? We've got 5, 10, 11 left. See, now it's easier to compare to what we've got left.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I don't think... I actually quite like Halloween Ends. I think I like Halloween Ends more than...
I would say this is probably 10.
10. Okay. Let's do 10 then.
Okay, so Halloween Kills takes place immediately after Halloween 2018.
They do that quite a lot in this series, don't they? It's like the sequel is on the same day.
Let me just point out as well, Halloween, the budget for Halloween 2018... Oh, I've gone too far down. Was 10 million. It made 259.9 million in the box office. So people liked the idea.
Yeah.
I think they enjoyed the fact Jamie Lee Curtis is back. Michael Myers is back. Fuck Rob Zombie. He fucked it all up. Let's try again. We'll give this a shot.
And they're quite lucky, actually, because that could, like I say, the fucking, it threw me off there being 2 Halloweens. Do you think maybe the fact it was called Halloween was done on purpose so that people knew...
Forgot about the other one.
So they knew it wasn't a Rob Zombie 3?
Yeah.
Because that might have been enough for them to go, I'm not going to see that.
Rob Zombie 2 flopped.
Yeah. So if you named it like... Because if you notice, this isn't Halloween 2. This isn't Halloween 3. They're Halloween Kills and Ends.
So it doesn't confuse it with the old timeline.
Yeah, but why is the first one not called, like, Halloween Revival or something like that?
That makes sense, yeah.
It's called Halloween, and it's almost like they're going to ignore these 2.
Yeah.
Like,
not everything until the first 2.
Yeah, so do you think maybe that's why? Do you think that saved it a little bit? The fact that it was called just Halloween.
And I think the fact Jamie Lee Curtis was back in it would have saved it as well.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a hit at the box office.
Yeah. So let's talk about Halloween Kills then.
So Halloween Kills is immediately straight after. So Karen's husband's dead, which is Alison's dad. You've got Michael still going on a killing spree, killing everybody. Laurie is taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries because she was stabbed. She is talking to the cop. She gets put in the bed next door to Frank, who is the cop from the first 2 films. Alison goes with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's dad to try and find Michael. the town's got it in the head that one of the mental health patients is Michael, and there's chaos in the hospital. It's just a massive mobs everywhere. It's messy.
Yeah, so the feeling I got in this film, because it's like they're in Haddonfield again now.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know that the whole thing is like Michael is a menace to Haddonfield.
Is Haddonfield's personal boogeyman.
Yeah, but it's almost like Haddonfield becomes the villain.
Yeah.
Like to the point where they cause a guy to kill himself.
Yeah, he jumps out the window.
Yeah, but it's like the whole town are no better than Michael, because they're all like, no, kill him. We want to see blood.
Yeah.
And I get it, because that happens in real life.
Yeah.
Like we see it a lot happening now, where it's like one person does something bad and the whole community comes out and they're like, we want this guy strung up.
But it's the fact that both Laurie and Karen had said, this is not the guy, this is not Michael, and nobody listens. But they are the victims, they know. But then you've got another part of the town that is actually after Michael.
Guy looks nothing like Michael as well. Like his build.
Kind of small, fat.
He's
frumpy. He's a small, frumpy man.
He is not
built in solid.
Yeah, he's definitely not the Rob Zombie Michael. I keep wanting to call him Michael Jackson. He's not the Rob Zombie Michael. He's not tall. He's not bulky. He has, I don't want to insult the guy, but he looks almost like fucking penguin shape. Danny DeVito type build. So
he's definitely not Michael.
Maybe that's to highlight the fact that they don't care. They
just want him gone.
They want to feel like they've done something.
But it doesn't work because
it's not Michael.
Alison's mob gets killed by Michael. The only survivor is Alison. But then the film ends with Michael stabbing Karen to death, which is Laurie's daughter.
Yeah.
I think this film is too messy.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of, this is happening currently in the hospital. This is currently happening at Laurie's house. Here's what's happening at the police station. Here's what's happening on the way to Laurie's house. There's a lot of flitting. Never to the point where you don't know what's going on. But
it's just not Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You still get the kills, but it's just...
I feel like we spend more time with... I feel like I guess it would be Laurie's granddaughter.
Alison.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to make her the new Laurie.
Yeah, and we'll talk about something that happens in Ends in just a second that really fucking pisses me off. And it's not just native to Halloween. It happens a lot in horror franchises where the main character is getting old.
Yeah.
Getting to the point where it's not realistic.
So they pass it on.
They pass it on and they do something that really fucking pisses me off. They do it without fail. And I'll tell you what it is in a second, but...
When we move on to it.
Yeah, where should we put Halloween Kills?
Okay, so Halloween Kills, to me, is 11.
11. So we're saying it's better than Rob Zombie's films, but not as good. Well, we'll do this when we've got them all on here, because that might cause us to move something around. Yeah.
Okay, so the budget for Halloween Kills was 20 million, and they hit 133.4 million in the box office.
Right.
Pretty decent. Blew the other films out of the water. Well, the newer films, the Rob Zombie films, blown out of the water by the last 3 films.
Yeah.
So the new Rob Zombie films had a flop. Okay. So the last one, Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
So in Halloween Ends, it came out in 2022.
Okay.
Came out in 2022, and it picks up 4 years after Halloween Kills.
Okay.
And we see Laurie reinventing her life. She's still trying to get over the death of her daughter. She's moved in with her granddaughter. Her granddaughter went to college and became a nurse. So she's like progressed and has become an adult. But we start the film in a massive mansion kind of style house. And it's a male babysitter, which is quite rare.
Yeah.
And he's looking after this kid. Let's just say this kid is a dick. And we thought that Michael Myers was just going to kill this kid.
Yeah, this is the kid that says Michael Myers doesn't kill.
Kid.
Because he's trying to freak the babysitter out. Usually it's the babysitter freaking the kid out, but the kid's like, Michael Myers will come and get you. He won't get me. Because Michael Myers doesn't kill children.
Corey, the babysitter, is very naive. He's quite nerdy. He's a bit of a recluse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he would be an easy target for a child bully.
Yeah.
And this kid had bully vibes. To the point where he locked Corey in the attic and wouldn't let him out. And he was trying to get out. He was like, let me out, let me out. And this kid was horrible. But the parents walked in as Corey was losing his temper and said, I'm going to fucking kill you. And he boots the door. The kid stood behind the door and goes flying down the stairs and dies.
He goes over the banister.
So he goes over the banister. He doesn't go downstairs. He goes like
2 flights.
2 or 3 flights and dies.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that was not Corey's fault.
No, it wasn't.
That was the kid's fault.
Kids shouldn't have been fucking standing behind the door for one thing, but secondly, don't
Don't lock your babysitter in that.
Don't trap someone who's clearly very nervous in a fucking enclosed space when, you know, there's a serial killer on the loose who you're saying is going to come and get him. You know what I mean?
So it was an accident. It wasn't done on purpose.
I know it was an accident, but the parents...
No, the mother believes it was on purpose.
No, the dad does it first too. He says it.
So that's not what I heard the dad say.
No, he did.
No, I heard the dad say, I never believed it that he did it intentionally. He's a good lad. And then he said later on that it was a different person. He said that he never believed it was the same. It was the same.
But yeah, either way, this kid is then sort of ostracized. Does he get sent to prison for a bit? It's some kind of unintentional homicide or something, isn't it? Unintentional manslaughter.
Film fixer next babysitter. He's watching him. Checked it. Doesn't say.
Either way, he's ostracized by, and we're back in Haddonfield still, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he becomes not as bad as Michael Myers, because obviously Michael Myers has gone on to do shit like kill a ton of people at this point. So comparing him to Michael Myers, you're going to be like, he's nothing. Even if you believe he has killed a child, he hasn't killed 100 people like Michael Myers has. You know what I mean?
But he could try, like, 10... After what happened with Michael Myers, in the eyes of the town, he was a bad egg.
Yeah, he wasn't to the point where we're going to string him up publicly and run him out of town and all that shit.
But he was ostracized.
Yeah, we're just not going to talk to him.
He was socially rejected.
Yeah.
So Laurie wants to protect Corey. He gets bullied and he cuts his hand open. She sends him to the hospital to meet Alison, and she hopes they will connect.
Yeah.
Something happens. He ends up being face to face with Michael Myers.
He gets he gets thrown off a bridge and knocks unconscious, and he gets dragged by Michael Myers into like a underground
sewers where he's living.
Yeah. Now Michael Myers at this point, because why would he not kill him? It's because he
sees something in him.
Yeah.
So, but after Michael Myers and Corey meet and they lock eyes, Corey starts changing. And he starts becoming evil. He starts killing people. And he actually does it for revenge.
Yeah.
So he starts... Like, he literally... Didn't he steal Michael Myers' mask? And kill people in the junkyard? Is it a junkyard?
Yeah, I do this.
So... He does kind of go on a killing spree. But Alison knows he killed one person it was kind of like self-defense because the guy, it was that like crazy guy from Halloween, like the deranged psychiatrist. I think it was him anyway. But he was like, why did he let you go? And I think a scuffle happened and he killed him. But oh no, the guy thingied a knife and he managed to get the knife and killing him instead, whatever. But Alison knows that and she starts being weird. She starts saying that she wants out of there, she wants out of Haddonfield. She has this fucking creepy cop that won't leave her alone that she used to date. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. She starts to argue with Laurie because Laurie starts to see Corey change and starts to see the evil in his eyes, and he's trying to warn Alison, and Alison's like, no, don't care. Bitch, I need me a villain. I think she thinks she's in dark romance, but this is not dark romance. This is slasher horror. But it's just weird. But then Corey and Laurie have an argument. Corey tells Alison, and then Laurie calls 911, says someone's committed suicide. Then
she pretends
to shoot herself, so Corey thinks she's dead, and then she says, you really think I'm going to kill myself over you? Bitch, please. It's just weird. But he then stabs himself in the neck because she's like, you're not having my granddaughter. My granddaughter is better than you are. Like, you're a homicidal maniac. My granddaughter can do better. And he goes, well, if I can't have her, no one can. And then stabs himself in the neck. And she's pulled it out just as Alison walks through the door. It's very weird. So he's now dead.
Yeah.
And then Michael comes back and he is pissed because Corey took his mask.
Yeah.
So he gets his mask back off Corey and snaps his neck for good measure.
Sean took his mask.
And then him and Laurie have a fight in the kitchen. Alison returns and helps the grandmother and they all make up. Laurie cuts Michael's throat and slices his wrist, so bitch is going to bleed out.
So he's dead. Yeah, and then they parade him through the streets, don't they?
And the townspeople
parade him through the streets.
Throw Michael's corpse into a industrial shredder.
Wood chip. No, not a wood chip. Yeah, like a junkyard shredder. Yeah.
Just for good measures, just to make sure the reign of terror is fucking gone.
And there is absolutely no way you can come back from that unless, you know, something supernatural happens.
You could be resurrected into a new body, you never know.
Yeah, there's no tricking, like, you know, oh, it was somebody else that we put in there. It's like, no, Michael Myers is in a shredder. He cannot come back.
She took his mask off, didn't she?
Yeah.
So she knew it was him.
Yeah. So
he's gone.
So he's dead at this point. But what pisses me off about this ending, it's not the wood chipper part, because he's dead.
I think the ending of this film is probably the best part of the fucking film.
The bit,
because it finally gives you closure on Michael Myers. It's done.
They explain kind of like why they're parading him. We're showing everyone that he is actually dead this time.
We've got the guy,
and the cops are kind of like, we wouldn't usually do this, but
fuck it.
I guess because they're Haddonfield residents as well. I guess they also want closure.
Well, Laurie always had as well during this film. Laurie had so many people come up to her saying, "You invented this boogeyman.
Yeah,
this boogeyman does not exist. You invented him. He exists because of you. You killed an innocent person time and time again because of this boogeyman that you created." So when they finally got him, everyone's fears were put to rest. He was finally dead. It's over. I understand why they did the ending the way they did it. They needed to make that final ending so that new people can't come along and destroy this film again.
Yeah, but the bit about the ending that pisses me off, and they did it in like Scream as well, is when they introduce a new character. Right, in this case, it's Allison. Like, this is the one that's going to be like...
I didn't like her.
No, but they always do the whole, like, we're finally killing the victim. You can help. And it's like, no, we're going to do this together. And it's like, no, fuck off. For one thing, she comes back after Michael's already been, like, neutralized. He's, like, pinned to the table. He's dead, pretty much. But they always do the whole, like, the main character throughout the whole series is there, but then also the new one that they're bringing in. I know it's supposed to be like passing the torch, but it just comes across as like an undeserved win. Like, you haven't done anything.
See, I'm not going to comment on the Scream one because I completely disagree with you with the Scream one. But this one, I completely agree. But the thing that is fine, the fact that it's okay, is this is the last one. But I believe Alison should have been killed off and Jamie took the praise. Not Jamie, Jamie Lee Curtis, you know what I mean? But Laurie was the one that put a stop to it all, and Alison didn't help her. This should have been her battle with Michael, and there should have been no torches passed. I didn't like the fact that Alison was very flaky.
But also, if there is a torch to pass, what's it for? Because Michael Myers is dead.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So to me, they didn't need to be an Alison. Or, have an Alison for the Corey storyline. But the Corey storyline, I didn't get it. It made no sense.
So, the only place for this to go is 5. So...
Okay, let's actually go through them now.
Yeah, and I think the best way to do it, we'll start at the top and we'll just see.
So the budget for this one, for Halloween Kills, was 33 million. And it hit 105.4 in the box office. Right. So it's not too bad. In total, spent on Halloween films, the budget in total was 143.3 million.
It was really pushed as the end, though, wasn't it? It's even still, so everybody knew.
That's it.
I think people, in the same way Haddonfield wanted...
You will still get dickheads that will try and bring it back.
But in the same way that Haddonfield wanted confirmation that he's gone, it's kind of like, well, how? Is he actually gone? I want to know. Is there,
keep coming back.
Are they going to leave the door? Is he going to, like, disappear? And, no, he gets put in a wood chipper or whatever it was. Yeah. So it's like, no, he is gone.
So 143.3 million was spent creating these films.
Right.
They received a total of 888.9 million in the box office. So this franchise has made its money.
Yeah.
Some more than others.
So let's run through all of the ones we've got then, and we'll just do like a final tick of whether we think they belong there or not.
Okay.
So number 1, we've got the original Halloween.
I believe that does belong there.
I think so too. I don't think there's any debate in that.
Yeah.
Second, we've got Halloween H2O. I know you said it is very much nostalgia, but you're not going to be able to shake that.
It's not even just nostalgia. It's the fact that it goes back to an absolute slasher. And for its time, for the 90s, it is a good slasher.
Yeah. Okay, so do you think that belongs at 2?
I still believe it belongs there too. It's one of my favourite films.
Okay, 3, we've got Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4, we've got Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Which one's that again?
That is the one where Jamie's first in it, got a little girl.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Don't like what they did with Laurie, but yeah,
The storyline's good.
Yeah. 5, we've got Halloween Ends. I actually feel like maybe that should be 4.
I don't know. I'd actually feel like it should be lower down.
Fair.
But the new films, like I said, the fact that
I agree.
the fact that they've ended it is good, and I love the ending. But the rest of that film made no sense, and I didn't like it.
Well, I'm looking at that one. I actually prefer this one to
the Ends.
Yeah, we swapped them, seeing as we're both. Yeah, I prefer Halloween 5 to Ends.
Yeah.
So it's Ends now against Halloween Resurrection.
I don't like either of them. I prefer Ends to Resurrection.
Yeah. Curse of Michael Myers against Resurrection.
I think it should be higher. I don't like Resurrection.
We can swap them around. This is the one.
That's the one with the cool. If you look past the cool, the storyline is actually quite good.
Yeah. Halloween 3 against Halloween Resurrection.
Still prefer Halloween 3. Don't mind Resurrection.
So Halloween Resurrection against Halloween 3.
Halloween 3 is more of a guilty pleasure. I can watch that more than I can watch Halloween Resurrection.
So shall we move Halloween 3 up? Okay. I don't necessarily agree with that, but okay. Halloween reboot against Halloween Resurrection.
It's not Halloween reboot.
Well, the
new time.
The new sequel. Yeah. The new Halloween H2O.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I prefer Halloween Resurrection.
Okay. Halloween against Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
What, you like the way it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Halloween Kills against Rob Zombie 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Rob Zombie 2, the worst. Okay.
That's how that is correct for me.
So that gives us our finalised list. But yeah, so that's our tier list of the Halloween films. Let us know if you agree
or disagree. But make sure you give us reasons why, because otherwise we'll go, well, you can't just disagree for the sake of disagreeing.
Yeah. And don't take any offence if you really, really like the Rob Zombie films. They're just not
our cup of tea, yeah.
Yeah. As a bonus as well, we did say we'd have a look at what the community think. So I don't know if it's going to show theirs in comparison to ours. It will probably be the S tier, A tier, B tier thing. So let's have a look. Halloween movie franchise, Halloween Ends included, tier list community rankings. Okay. So they've got Halloween 1.
Everyone's fave.
Yep. Oh, okay. So
that's the new Halloween, Halloween 2018. Halloween 2 and Halloween 4.
Return of Michael Myers.
Return of Michael Myers is there too. They're A.
They seem to... the one that surprises me is that.
Yeah.
That's the outlier. These, I think, were quite high.
Yeah.
On ours. We didn't do the S, A, B, C, D format, but yeah, the people tend to seem to enjoy the same ones we do, except H2O is quite low down.
Yeah. Have they only got it today?
Yeah. So B tier, they've got H2O and Halloween Kills. I'd actually kind of agree with that. C, they've got the Rob Zombie 1, Halloween 3, and then Halloween Ends.
See, I don't agree with that.
D tier, so this is the one that people, I guess, hate. This one's quite surprising. Halloween 5. So we quite like that one. We had that quite high up. Halloween Resurrection.
I understand that one.
Yeah. Curse of Michael Myers, which I think, didn't we put that a little higher up?
Yeah, we put it above Halloween Resurrection.
And then Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie one. So there's a couple of outliers.
It's strange, isn't it? So let's have a look at the Rotten Tomato one. So Rotten Tomato, they have...
Oh, hang on. I've got other lists where somebody's changed the format. So I wonder if somebody's got...
We need...
Oh, no. Looks like we're the only ones that have actually ranked them from like 1 to 13. Everybody else is just doing like great, good.
Okay, so on ours... So on Rotten Tomato, Halloween has 97%. That is the highest mark. So on Rotten Tomatoes, Halloween is number 1 with 97%. Halloween 2018 is 79%. So that's 2. Then they have... Halloween H2O is 3 at 56%. Halloween 2 as... No, Halloween 3 is 49%. Halloween Ends at 40. Halloween Kills at 39%. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers at 39%. Halloween 2 at 34%. Halloween 2007 Rob Zombie at 28%. Halloween 2009 Rob Zombie at 25%. Halloween 5 The Revenge of Michael Myers at 11%. Halloween Resurrection at 10%. And Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers at 8%. So theirs is completely different.
Yeah.
Well, what we're going to do is... on Spotify, we're going to put a live poll. So if you want to join in on the fun...
Tell us which is your favourite
Halloween film. Ooh. Give us a ranking. But this has been a very long podcast, and I hope Mark enjoys editing it, because I have my own to edit. If you enjoyed listening to our episode, you can find Karma's a Witch, Bad Karma, and Karma's a Killer Game on Spotify,
Apple Podcasts,
Amazon Music. Click, comment, and subscribe
on YouTube
at Bad Karma Network. And
make sure you follow us on the Facebook page where we post polls, updates, clips, and photos.
And you can also follow us on TikTok, where you see me being a twat. Thanks for listening, guys.
And we hope to see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.